Why is everything stupid or like a waste of time? Like, why can't you just have a conversation?
The same, like, you don't have to have any skill to be tied away. Don't put people down for like making the game slightly easier. Like,
That's mentioning a fact. That's not putting people down. If I'm saying, well, he was using CBF. What about that is putting people down? Like, if you're put down by that, I'm sorry, bro. You need to grow up. Like, it's not my job to make sure. Okay.
Don't put people down.
Don't put people down.
Determine whether something's cheating. They also don't determine whether someone's a good player, you fucking moron. This person is like fucking like a product of like the stupid people like dog.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so just shut the fuck up.
Don't put people down.
I don't give a shit how frustrating it is that you can't like rise the ranks or whatever. I'm not hate. I don't fucking hate them. I think they're fucking stupid. I think this is just as brain dead as a fucking Wavix video. I'm not gonna watch it and be like, oh boy.
Don't put people down.
This is a really fucking stupid comment. So fucking dumb.
Like, that's the funny thing. Like, you were an asshole for the majority of this reaction, and now you're calling me an asshole. Hey, but you are arguing that I'm an asshole. Like, bro, like, just calm that ass down, bro.
If you really like are expecting the demon list to be like without flaw representation of how good someone is, then you're a fucking idiot.
Did, like, at any point in the video, no. Okay.
I didn't even have to fucking answer it.
Don't put people down.
Like, there's no way of quantifying that, so shut the fuck up about it. Like, you can understand that if you're not a fucking moron, dude.
Know whether or not.
No, you fucking don't. Shut the fuck up.
The more transparency, the better. So, to ask a player if they need transparency, oh, you don't. Oh.
You fucking don't. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't.
It
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We shouldn't be putting down people.
don't
This
think
comment
it's
probably
something-
sucks.
Look at this comment.
Don't be an asshole. Percent needs to be an asshole.
Google thinks I'm just an asshole, so I call people dumb. The it being possible argument is fucking stupid. Like, you can get a cosmic bit flip and beat the Cupid wall. That doesn't mean that using no clip isn't cheating. Like,
Hold on. Is using a 144 hertz monitor over a 60 hertz monitor the same thing as no clipping through a wall?
somewhat take your argument seriously, you should like actually think it through. This person is not only not thinking it through, but
I haven't even presented an argument yet. What do you mean I'm not thinking an argument through?
Wait.
But how are you gonna call that reductive and then say that any mod is cheating, and then
Any mod cheating is wild.
and then not realize that that's reductive?
CBF is so inconsequential when you compare like someone who plays the game for 10 hours a day and has like really good fucking genetics to someone who plays the game for 1 hour a day and fucking sucks ass. Like, it's
Right, but like Tiago isn't someone who plays the game 1 hour a day and sucks ass versus Cervex being someone who's really good and plays 10 hours a day. They're both top players.
They're both still top players.
Like, what the fuck?
It's just
Well, there's none of what you're saying is
not
relevant.
part of the argument.
At all.
They don't.
See, he said they
They
don't.
don't.
Like
But
I
so
said,
what-
the stupidest fucking thing in the world.
It's just like you
Just
take
explaining
teams of your
CBF.
points for no reason.
Yeah, why are you going after me for this? This is such a fucking dumb thing to go after. Like, I'm just like, am I not allowed to just like,
You see, like, and this is the attitude that I pointed out.
like he was saying like, oh, CBF changes the game, but like,
See, that's not what I said. That's not. Bro, you don't think Septagon has anything. You think Doggy's comments dumb. You think, like, half of what I said is irrelevant. You don't care. Like, stop crying. What's going on, everybody? I'm Mdog5. Welcome back to another video. We're on Wave Clan today. And today I'm going to be reacting to Nifty's reaction to my click between frames video. I've watched some of this reaction already and we're gonna have a really good time. You know, I'm gonna explain everything as we're going, and then at another point in time I'm gonna bring somebody else in there because he has a friend that's reacting to my video with him, so I'm also gonna have a friend that's gonna be reacting to this reaction with me at some point. Do you have an alias or no? Okay. I don't think his takes were in good faith at all. I think he was being overly combative, and it seemed like they just had a thought process going into the video that wasn't like to find a common ground, but just to like see how disagreeable they can be to the video. That's just what it felt like. Parts that I already know that they're going to disagree with, partially because I've skimmed through the stream. So the first thing is going to be like the 30 to 60 FPS thing, which I'm going to explain when we get there. Second thing is probably the me calling Septagon's comment gaslighting. We'll also touch upon that when we get there. So Nifty's an actual like geometry ass YouTuber, but he reacted to this on his second channel. So I'm entering this live stream, right, with the presumption that he's just gonna add their thoughts to the discussion, because that's what we're doing. We're stirring the pot, basically. We're trying to get more discussion about CBF going, basically. Like, I want to hear everybody's thoughts. So I think this is how I am going into it. Like, oh, someone's like reaction.
I just wanted to like watch this because I don't know. I feel like this has kind of been circulating around. And hi. From what I've gathered, it's like somewhat correct. It's like somewhat correct, but then he kind of misses the point and turns into like a fucking loser. And then the comment that Doggy wrote is like so like everything.
So like I have no problem with what was said, like until like, oh, he just turns into a fucking loser. Like now you're gonna have to explain how that was done, because I don't mind if someone says I'm missing the point, but then again, like you can't just throw shit and then not substantiate it. So like now I'm like interested.
Like completely wrong, but I'll talk about that too. I don't know. I feel like I could like write a fucking comment and get into like a reply war or some shit, and then it would.
Yeah, no, this is better, and this is way more entertaining too, like, bro. Thanks for doing this.
Thing, and like I would feel like garbage, or I could just watch it on stream and like make content out of it. How did they make this long ass video about CBF? I guess we're about to find out.
Oh my gosh.
CBF equals cheating.
My
gosh.
Click Between Frames, or CBF for short, has been the talk of the town ever since its release. It's a geode mod which allows one to click in between a given frame.
Yep.
Bro, do y'all hear the sexy music in the background that I put in that bitch?
No, I agree with that part. I think he just goes on and he's like, force normalcy. CBF disturbs level.
Yeah. See, like, this is the first problem that I noticed with the stream. It's like you're ascribing a certain tone. You're believing I'm saying these things in a way in which I'm not saying them. So you're going through the chapters and you're like, forced normalcy, CBF disturbs level. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying forced normalcy. I mean, we'll get to why I said that, but it's not like malicious in the way that I'm saying it. Like, it's just like, I don't know what to tell you if you don't like the placement of words beside one another.
That's the part that I think is fucking.
It was like the
you
tone.
want to be in depth.
Yeah, but it was like the tone. Like they acted like I was like forced normalcy. Like I was saying it like that. It was just like
you're just trying to be in depth and give your opinion.
Yeah.
It's like that's the part that I think is fucking stupid. It's like I and I was like, and
like what is CBF? Like no, it's just what is CBF.
Funny too, because I knew as soon as I saw this he would not like. He would have the wrong take, even though I agree with just this sentence.
What do you mean by the wrong take?
That's such a wild thing to say before even fully watching it.
As to say that like my take is something you don't agree. Like, what does that mean? Like the wrong take? Because there's technically like unless you're being toxic, there's no like right or wrong take. Like this is all opinion based, except for the like it's cheating part, because technically by definition of cheating and how we use cheating in video games, like in the context of video games, how we use the definition of cheating in the context of video games, click between frames fits that. So that's what I think is like, that's the whole point of the video. But everything else is like opinion based.
I like how he's using a fucking flip book.
Thank you.
Yeah.
An example for this. That's fucking. I'm glad I get to watch Bussin while I listen to him fucking talk.
Yeah, and also Charlie Brown's flipbook.
For instance, this is a video I'm editing.
This is Home Alone. Technically.
What software is this?
What? Yeah, what the hell is it?
That was 3 frames.
Movavi.
I think this is the like.
It's not.
It's the parent company
It's
of
not.
Filmora. It depends on what you're editing. For like
so
a normal
confusing.
YouTube video, for like.
They just yapped for a minute, so I was like, we as humans don't see in frames, but the equivalent for what we as humans see in real life is anywhere between 30 to 60 frames per second.
That's just not even true.
Okay, so here's Here's the thing about that. So the one thing they were yapping, I don't think they heard the first part, which is their fault. But my fault is like I don't know because a lot of people got confused. But when I said that, so I think what I could have said was on a regular basis. Like people see the equivalent of 30 to 60 frames per second on a regular basis. So I think that's my fault for not being as transparent in terms of what I was trying to say. But the reason why I didn't go in depth is because I was literally just trying to give people who don't understand, like have an understanding of what FPS is, like just to give them an idea of like what 30 or 60 frames per second is. Like, oh, like when I'm just talking to somebody in real life, that kind of looks like 30 to 60 frames per second on a TV screen or a computer screen or a laptop screen or a monitor or a phone. Like that's essentially what I was trying to say. So what I said was in the video is that we don't see in frames, but the equivalent to what we as human beings see is 30 to 60 FPS. So a lot of people in the comment section, they were like, oh wait, I can tell the difference between 144 and 240 frames per second. And automatically it's like, okay, like I'm not saying you can't. Like we're not talking about FPS. We don't even see in frames per second. And that's the other thing. Like when someone's like, oh, we don't even see in frames. I'm like, I literally just said that. I said the human equivalent to what we see in FPS. And then the last thing about this topic in particular is that I got from two sources. I got actually four. I think it was about four sources said 30 to 60 FPS as the equivalent to what we see on like me going like this, right? That's somewhat comparable to anywhere between 30 to 60 frames per second on a screen, but your eyes don't see in frames, right? It's light being reflected from the back of from cells in your eye, and then it turns into electrical signals. So what that value is equivalent to, I did some math because I was doing more. It's actually very complicated. It might not even be 30 to 60 frames per second. I did this calculation right here because like if the human eye has a shutter speed equivalent to 1/100th of a second, which is 10 milliseconds, and the frame rate cannot exceed this shutter speed. In terms of cameras, the human eye has a frame rate of 100 frames per second because every frame at 100 frames per second lasts for 10 milliseconds. But in this video right here, but like that might not even be true because the retina is not as light sensitive as like an actual camera, which has actual shutter speed. And then this video right here, which is, I think this is like a science podcast. Like they have a whole website and everything. They said like about 75 frames per second. So at no point am I insinuating that like you looking at a screen, right, that you can't see above 60 frames per second on a screen, because I'm not even talking about frames per second. I'm talking about the equivalent. Like, wouldn't that be a huge contradiction? Like, this entire video is based on the premise that you can tell the difference between 60, 144, 240, 360 frames per second. Like, that's just a huge contradiction. Like, I don't know why, like, I don't know, if you're confused about what I said, that's fine, but like, wouldn't you think that that's not what I meant, if anything? But my point is that when people hear like the 30 to 60 frames per second thing, and then it's like, oh, that's not even true, like I automatically know that you misconstrued what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not true. Yeah, that's not true. We see way more than that.
We see way. It depends on the person, but like it's also not. It's not calculated in frames. First of all, which is a nerd statement. But like,
but it's so much more. If that's so fucking stupid, because if you saw a maximum of 60 FPS, then having 240 FPS on
right. So like already, that's not what was being said.
Monitor would make no difference.
There's no point in saying that, because that's not what I'm asserting.
It would be like
yeah,
you would see in 60 FPS like. That doesn't even make sense. I mean, it would. Yeah. I think it would technically be easier, but
if like, they're also against FPS bypass, then I guess so. Like, sure, like that's your point, whatever. But like,
I don't think they are against FPS bypass.
Yeah, that like
based on what I
even if it was right, that means like if they were against FPS bypass, then it would make sense for them to be also against CBF. But like, they're not, and also it's wrong.
Pussy.
And also, what is this video for?
When you're playing video games, however, you can easily have 240 or 360 frames per second. Yeah, so like they missed the point on that, but it's whatever. What were you saying what to?
240 or 360 frames.
Yeah, because you misunderstood what I said, and then when I'm saying that games can have above those frame rates, you're like, what? because you didn't understand what I said. That's partially my fault, but you were yapping and you missed the part of the video where I'm like, we don't see in frames. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you would have been more, because like you guys are smarter than the average commenter, right? So maybe you would have had more insight. Some extremely hard games like Geometry Dash almost require this to beat really difficult levels.
They don't.
What are you talking about? They don't. They don't require high frame rates to beat hard levels in Geometry Dash? What do you mean they don't? Like I just said the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Wait, what? Are we actually saying that we don't need like 240, 360 FPS to beat really hard levels? Like before CBF, because CBF is a game changer, but like before CBF, what was the go-to method? Why was FPS bypass a thing?
What?
So now they think that I contradicted myself because they misinterpreted what I said in
Yeah,
the
they
first
just
place.
didn't pay attention to the full context.
They don't.
But he right here they got me fucked up because I was like, it's almost like you're playing hard games like Geometry Dash, like having 240 or 360 is like almost required. Like, is that a crazy thing to say?
No, I mean, look at the top players.
Right.
You see any of them being like fucking tidal wave with 60 FPS? No. If that ever happens, I'd be insanely impressed.
Right.
They don't.
See, and he said they
They
don't
don't.
like
Wait,
like
so
I said
what
the
is-
stupidest fucking thing in the world.
That
It's
Yeah.
like not even in the top.
And I was like,
75
yeah, I was like, well then why is there a mobile list then? If it's not like why is there a whole separate list for mobile that can't go like in those higher frames? And those levels aren't the
higher
levels
FPS
that
makes
are-
the game more accurate. You're
Right.
still not gonna be able to tell visually like too much of a difference. I feel like I could tell the difference between like 240 and 60, but it's also because I know what the game runs like with both.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that one is like very noticeable, like 60 to 240, but like 360 to 240 like isn't that crazy of a difference.
Yeah, but
That's what I was saying. Like when you
if I were to play
control
like a
the screen-
shooter and I went from like 60 to 240, I can't tell the difference until I move the mouse.
Oh yeah, for sure.
it comes to video games, it you can see
Well,
more.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that hard.
I'm not saying that's what you're
Almost
saying. I'm saying is that what
spaced
he's
on that one.
saying?
No,
Your
I
left
don't.
ear.
I don't think he
Your left ear.
realizes.
That's what I heard.
I don't think he realizes that contradiction. I think he, which I think, whatever. It's not central to his point. I think that just.
Yeah, I know, but
doesn't
like
really
that
add
just like
anything 'cause it's not
that proves like they might not know what they're talking about. Like,
No, but that's not
No.
central. I don't think that matters.
Because yeah, like no, but like honestly, like if I actually believe that you couldn't see it in more than 60 frames, the entire video would be like stupid. Like why would I actually think that? Like maybe you misinterpreted what I said instead of me
Maybe you
actually
didn't get the
saying
full
it.
context because you were streaming and kept on pausing it.
is there a point that you can't see more than 60 FPS in real life?
Nobody's saying that. Nobody is saying that. It's like, again, why would I say that's such an obvious contradiction? That contradicts the entire video if that was actually my belief. So I don't understand what. Well, because I didn't really explain the thought like I don't think I explained it correctly, but to the degree where some people took it, it's like, okay, like if you use your brain, you would have to like come with the conclusion that that's like whatever you think I said wasn't what I really meant, because the whole video becomes null and void.
Which I think, whatever. It's not central to his point. I think that.
And,
Yeah, I
and it
know.
wasn't. People were like, oh, like, you don't know what you're talking about or whatever. Or like, oh, I already don't trust the video because you got that wrong. It's like, okay, like, if I get Pythagorean theorem wrong, can I no longer talk to you about, like, photosynthesis?
No, but that's not central. I don't think that matters. It's not central.
Right, thank you. Why is he even talking about FPS?
Why is he talking about FPS? He's just trying to give like a background.
Yeah,
for
like an
his
introduction.
Point, so if you don't know what CBF is, like that, he's not. We're not in the meat and potatoes.
When you control what's on the screen, the way in which you do so now correlates to how often you see images on said screen.
Yes, that's it. He's right about that. He's right about that.
Yeah.
That it still makes a
Yeah,
difference.
like, all right,
Even if,
we know.
even if
We know. It's just, I don't know. It's because it's like, he's like, oh, well, he's right about that. He's right about that. I just feel like he's like trying to find something to disagree with.
himself in the sense that like, because you like can see above 60 FPS. And
You can detect well above 60 frames per second when you're looking at like a particular channel, right? But why do you guys think that there's such a big difference between, like, let's say if I put a video in like 144 FPS or 360 FPS, why do you think it's like, oh shit, I can see everything so clearly? It's because you don't see shit like that in real life. Like in real life, if I go like this becomes blurry because you can't, like, the equivalent to, like, we can only process motion up to a certain frequency, and that's comparable. And I'm saying, like, how we process motion in real life is comparable to looking at like a video playing in like 30 to 60 frames per second. And then some scientists are saying like 100, other scientists are saying 75. Like, it's really complicated. Honestly, we don't know the exact number, but I don't think the range 30 to 60 is crazy. And again, nobody's saying that you can't look at a TV screen, and because now this is like a different conversation that we're having. Nobody's saying that you can't look at a screen and tell the difference between like 30 frames per second, 60, 120, 140, 240. You obviously can, because it's frame rate.
All that stuff, like, that's a contradiction, but even if you did have a maximum of like 60 FPS in your vision, it would be easier just because you have more frames to have your input hit. So he's right about that.
Yeah.
Can't believe someone can talk for this long about CBF. We're about to watch this whole video and talk about it for like an hour. So.
Yeah.
We're only 2 minutes in, and I've been streaming for 10 minutes, so.
Yeah, I haven't played a Geometry Dash in like 4 months, by the way. So like, I'm just like coming back to this. I'm like, okay.
And like,
I know it's
up
CBF,
until
like, I didn't
here,
touch
like at this part of the
anything
stream,
Geometry
I
Dash
wasn't
as a
even
creator.
like
the editor.
upset
So I was, like,
or
coming back
anything.
to this, like, wow, this is what people are talking
Like,
about.
this is nothing crazy.
It's just not that complicated of a topic. Yeah, no, he's gonna fucking overcomplicate it. Like, he's talking about forced normalcy.
I'm not overcomplicating it. Yeah, so this second chapter is explaining CBF. You can see it's like a tenth of the video. The other one is FPS bypass, and then that's me explaining FPS bypass and why I would never consider that cheating, the way in which it was implemented in the game, and the difference between that and clicks between frames. So, and then that, even at that, that's like another tenth of the video. And then this is just like other points that we're bringing up that's relevant to the conversation. It's not like, it really isn't that complicated of a topic, which is why, like, I don't spend that much time explaining it.
He's gonna overcomplicate it.
Yeah,
like,
and also it's
fuck
27 minutes, so
Like,
I think that alone.
I think if you're gonna talk about the list at all in the CBF debate, or like talk about like anything other than the basics of like competition and how luck factors into competition and stuff like that. Like, if you're gonna talk about like anything past that, then you're missing the entire point. So, and I think he's gonna
How?
I'll get to that because I have a very, I don't know. I think lucky egalitarianism.
The point of what?
Is this Chub Stubs footage?
This is my footage, unless I'm
Me and
specifying that it's not
sun
my
in the
footage.
sky.
This person doesn't know what they're talking about. No one's talking about the speed of the player. The speed doesn't change unless you hit a speed portal. I don't even think I mentioned speed.
Oh, like, how good does it actually make you? It's like, come on, dude. Like, that's not
Yeah.
helping anything.
You-
You know what I mean?
The best thing you can do is just make it a real dumb sentence and be like,
No,
yup, it's alright.
It doesn't even have to be dumb. Like, I just.
Well, no, no,
It gives you a slight boost.
and like dumb it down.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
In some cases,
Like,
in
you
most
don't have
cases.
to make it like a.
And I think that's pretty obvious
Ultra-
based on how many people are using it, the performance in which, like, people's attempt counts go way down when they're using CBF. I mean, yeah. And then I used it for myself. It definitely gets rid of some choke points in most cases.
complicated thing. Just like,
Well, that's just.
hey, is this really a problem?
Like, that's just messaging, but I do
Yeah.
think, like, I really do think, like, it's just so, like a lot of people, like, really are just, like, so, like, out there in terms of what they're talking about, like, about stuff that just doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if
Yeah.
it makes you a million times better at the game. I don't care if it doesn't make you better at all. Like, I feel like none of that is really important to, like, whether it should be accepted, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that's a fair take.
calling out CBF beating, and he needs no clip to beat Forest Temple. I don't think that's his footage.
It is my footage. Wait. Is this person being serious? I thought that was a joke. That's a Electronoman adventure blog.
Which is an upcoming top 1.
Wait, are you actually being serious? Wait, niggas are wait. Are niggas being serious right now? You gotta be trolling. You're trolling. This is the verifier. Rest in peace to Michigan. Those are just fake blocks. Wait, I hope they were trolling.
Wow, how's he going through the blocks?
Yo, how's he going through the blocks? Force temple. Oh shit.
But unfortunately, using this mod is cheating and has also had some negative.
That's not fortunate.
Huh?
I don't see what's unfortunate about that.
Well,
Guys don't know for like 2
Unfortunately.
seconds, and I
You
lost
said,
like the biggest point ever.
unfortunately, this mod is cheating. Like, okay. I don't think it's really like, okay.
Okay.
Unfortunately, using this mod is cheating and has also had some negative.
That's not fortunate.
I
You
lost
said,
like the biggest point ever.
unfortunately, this mod is cheating. Like, okay. Really,
You see, like you're ascribing a tone. I said, unfortunately, this mod is cheating, and it's unfortunate because, like, imagine if it were legitimate, like if it were actually legitimate, it was accepted into the community, and we could all use it without any controversy. That's why it's unfortunate that it's actually cheating, based on my definition that I put into the video.
I don't know. I'm indifferent. It doesn't really.
Like your interpretation, like we don't need your commentary right here. Like to me saying unfortunately, because you think I'm like saying that like to demean something. What I don't know.
To be honest.
Oh, I'm actually interested to hear like how he's gonna react to me saying like this is a controversial topic.
I understand that this is a controversial topic, and unfortunately, the GD community can't handle controversial topics very well. I've experienced this firsthand by my own conversation.
See, like that is very true. That's why they're laughing.
I've experienced this firsthand by my own comment section on my top 10 Geometry Dash players video. I said by the end of 2024, Trick and Popoff were above Zoink, and because Trick retired, obviously I think Zoink is a better player than Trick.
Okay, this guy.
What is it?
What does retiring have anything to do with that? I mean, he doesn't
Anything to do with what?
like
what
magically
does it-
become a fucking baby when he retires. He's still good at the game.
No, he's still good at the game. Okay, first of all, if you stop playing a game, people are going to catch up in skill to you. So in the case of like Zoink and Trick, I thought they were like super even, but because Trick no longer plays the game and Zoink plays probably every day, Zoink is probably the better player. But when people retire, that means they no longer play the game. Meaning other people, it's more likely that other people catch up, that you're not polishing your skills. Like, what are we talking about? How is it relevant?
Just
Like, I understand that. Like, Trick retiring doesn't make, like, Mizuki or Tayago better than Trick. But Zoink?
add to the video like
No,
oh
he's,
yeah,
he's
Trick,
just talking
Trick
about how
retired.
he's talking about the GD community can't handle like controversial topics.
And I'm giving my own example.
That's what he's
Yeah.
talking about right now.
And y'all not even letting me finish the example. God dang.
I don't
How
know
does
what
that
this is.
relate? I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, if you watch the video and get through the video, nigga, shit. Like, you're pausing it, bro.
It's just a disclaimer.
My gosh. That nigga came out with the video, bro. That shit was sad as shit, bro. That shit was dark as hell. He had his monitor. He was like, guys, I'm retiring.
People literally called it propaganda and rage bait.
Wait, are we laughing at the same thing?
That's so funny.
How about we pause for like a minute and we just forgot
No, he's
everything?
talking
And then,
about
Bro, oh my gosh, bro. Whoever his friend has short-term memory
how
loss.
This is
he-
propaganda.
He said like Zoink is the better player because Trick retired and people are calling. I feel like
No. See, y'all need to stop pausing the fucking video, bro, and just let it play. I said by the end of 2024, I said Trick and Popoff were the better player. That's what ensued, like what you're seeing right now. Then I'm saying now, obviously, I think Zoink is the better player because Trick stopped playing. But people in my comment section were calling the fact that I said Trick and Popoff were above Zoink like propaganda and rage bait. So that's how you got there.
oh my god, I feel like this really should not be something that bothers you. These people are probably like a
Yeah.
combined age of like 13.
And I thought it was funny. It was but it was like everybody. Like imagine like most like 90% of your comments saying that. Like you can't lie, bro. If this got to you, got enough of a response to you to like go back and forth with me, then I'm pretty sure like hundreds and hundreds of comments saying stupid shit would too.
Bro, get the out of your mouth. Bro, even
Take out of here.
Bro.
Oh my
Is that not crazy? Is that like not a crazy thing to say though? Like if somebody's calling your opinion rage bait and propaganda, like hold on. Me saying Trick is above Zoink is rage bait and propaganda. You do need to get the dick out of your mouth. Yo, doesn't Zoink have like a girlfriend? Like get off that man's nuts, bruh.
God.
Y'all are caramelizing his shit,
But
bro.
it's fun that you don't Zoing at number 1 and kids' comments are actually mad, Lamau. Do not care, dude.
players said y'all were tweaking in the comments.
I still don't know what this has to do with the entire video at all. Like, I'm so confused. I don't know what this has to do with anything. Like,
No, he's just he's going on a fucking rant about how the...
See, like nobody's going on a rant. What is your interpretation? I'm saying the Geometry Dash community. I'm having a disclaimer, and I'm saying that this is like the Geometry Dash community isn't great at taking comment section controversy, and I experienced that with my own comment section, and now I'm showing you the experience that I got through the comment section.
community can't handle controversial stuff.
just like in general, just like
Yes,
they can't
in
handle the fact
general,
that like
this is,
people
like,
have different
so
appointments
fucking
or
stupid.
not appointments, opinions.
This is like such a waste of time. You don't have,
Yeah.
like you don't have to go over this.
Bro, actually, this disclaimer sparked some good debate because this guy he was like, "Oh, I saw like the disclaimer in your video, and I want to make this comment as constructive as possible." And he actually wrote like a really good fucking comment. Like he didn't agree with me on everything, but he like wrote like which is good. Like I don't want you to agree with me on everything. But yeah, he wrote a constructive shit. So clearly this wasn't a waste of time. Y'all are just being dickheads.
Monster.
Jesus Christ.
But a video of a similar topic caught my eye, and the comments on there were really reductive and didn't respect the conversation or the time the channel put into making the video with actual critical thinking. I was even surprised by
This is true. 100%. Listen, I thought about making...
So why is that valid and then my example invalid? Like how did we get here? And then this is true.
that fucking like art criticism video. I'm literally
This dude is eating.
just gonna turn...
Damn.
I was even surprised by Septagon's comment, calling the video silly and then stating points that the content in the video negates. Instead of pushing for more conversation, the creators seemed successfully gaslit into agreeing that the video was silly and was made for fun. Not saying that was Septagon's intention with the comment, but the video seemed pretty serious to me.
So I don't know if they're gonna comment, but like I should not have said that it was gaslit because gaslit, like you can't take, like after like somebody in the comments pointed out, like you can't take the intention of like gaslighting out of the definition of the word gaslit. Therefore, like you can only ascribe gaslighting to like somebody who's like really harmful in a relationship and they're trying to manipulate the other person by like denying their reality and sense of self-worth and like all this other stuff. So like I shouldn't have called it gaslighting, and I already apologized to Septagon for saying that. But the one thing that I will stand by is that if the guy, because the guy who made the video told me, he was like, "Oh no, bro, I wasn't gaslit." Like I actually agreed with Septagon. I was like, okay, but like, what are the odds that some like you call somebody else's work like silly and then they're gonna agree with you? That's why like I automatically was like, bro, I don't like this. Like everybody in his comments is like, oh, like this topic shouldn't have this much attention, or like, oh, this video is silly, or like, oh, like saying sarcastic shit like, oh, the ever-changing list is changing, what a surprise. It's like, and then he was like, oh yeah, this video is silly. I'm like, kind of looked like you put a lot of time into it. Like if he didn't himself think that it was silly, then like he literally got bullied into believing that his work was silly. And I just didn't like that behavior. That's what it appeared to be, and that's what I didn't like about it.
You know, saying they got gaslit.
I'm sure,
just thinking it's
I'm
silly.
sure
It's
none of
crazy.
these people involved have given
gets
this
so
more than
pressed
like
over
an
nothing.
hour of
Like the only reason why I'm not like combating like the other kid's tone is because I shouldn't have said gaslit.
Seems pretty serious to me. I mean, there's a difference between the like topic of the video being silly and your actual like logic being like well thought out. I mean, you can I don't think any of this shit is serious at all. I think all of this is fucking stupid.
But then there's also a difference between calling a video silly and then rejecting the validity of what was said in the video without properly arriving, like giving it any thought or giving it any like conversation or anything, and then having the other person who did make the video believe that, oh yeah, this was a waste of time.
In the grand scheme of things, none of this fucking matters. There's like very pressing issues that go on in this world. Not
I like how we're
CBF.
6 minutes 30.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's saying that as a person who's spending 2 hours and 27 minutes reacting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
If there's more pressing issues, bro, go fix them.
I make these videos to create healthy discourse within the community about interesting topics, but just don't act like someone's opinion, which is opposite to yours, is hate speech or something crazy.
What? What do you mean? Wait, when that took a fucking turn? What do you mean?
Dude, every single time I zone out for 2 seconds, it's always on a completely different topic, and it's always like, this shit is evil!
What the fuck? I can't believe I can't believe he's like.
Is this a response to you,
not,
Nugget? No, it's
this
not.
is not silly. Why are you guys acting like this is hate speech? What the fuck do you mean?
I don't, bro. Some people, bro. I'm confused now because like what I said, I'm pretty sure that I had A led to B, B led to C, C led to D. I don't understand how you're coming away with what I'm saying as though it's random. Like, I don't know. I think it's pretty, like, let's go. Like, the whole point of this chapter of the video is, like, a disclaimer. Like, let's have good discussion. All I said was, don't pretend. Like, I don't understand. Like, if it's not my problem if you're getting short-term memory loss every time you pause the video for more than 2 minutes at a time. But what I said was, don't be a dick about, like, don't act like people having a different opinion than you is some form of hate speech. Which, if you go back to what you were looking at like 5 minutes ago when people were calling my opinion propaganda or rage bait, that's literally what I meant. And by hate speech I'm being like hyperbolic because it's not like hate speech.
This is the exact fucking like opposite of what you how you
What is Seahorse 2, bro? You are hating, bro.
approaching this. It's not a serious topic that like you should be like if you're going to like.
Exactly, and that's why I'm telling people to not act like my opinion differing from yours is like something crazy.
Have people like at least somewhat take your argument seriously. You should like actually think it through. This person is not only not thinking it through, but
I haven't even presented an argument yet. What do you mean I'm not thinking an argument through?
way too seriously. That's like fucking. That is like the opposite of what you should be doing.
Like, this is what I call like bad faith.
That'll do it.
What? What do you mean? Wait, when that took a fucking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What the fuck are we
What
talking
do you
about?
Every single time I zone out for 2 seconds,
I was like, what
it's
are we,
a completely
like,
different
what is there to
topic, and it's
be
always
mad
like icons and put black bars over their eyes and say.
No. How did we get here? What the
Just like
fuck?
random ass.
That's like,
Nice Google AI definition, asshole. Like, people would discredit it because AI generates it, but if you actually sit and read what the AI generated, it's like valid. Which is why I put it in the video, which I knew was gonna get a lot of views. And then I also gave like another like person written definition. So just to be clear, the unfair advantage, like, it doesn't matter if anybody can download CBF or whatever. The unfair advantage is that CBF allows you to make your own physics steps while the normal game doesn't allow you to do that. So that's technically the unfair advantage.
I
Technically.
think you could like.
Now there's like different scales, like to where it just doesn't matter. Like someone could be playing Tidal Wave, another person can be playing Bloodbath. A person that's like playing Bloodbath without CBF and person that's playing Tidal Wave with CBF, like it just doesn't matter. Like it's not like an unfair advantage. But like the unfair advantage, like I said, it's like a single player game. So you can't really extend the unfair advantage, but like it matters when two people are on the same playing field and are competing against one another. So in my opinion, right now, Servax and Tiago are in like an unofficial Tidal Wave third victor race. I'd say because Servax is using CBF and Tiago isn't, I'd say that Servax is at a slight unfair advantage. Because I don't think CBF grants you like a crazy whatever, but as Nifty said, it's not relevant. But I do think that it gives you like he's at like an advantage. But then again, like if they weren't in a race and if they didn't care about who got whatever first, then it's like, okay, like the unfair advantage is irrelevant.
Doing something.
Which is why we go off of like other aspects of the definition to sort of make it fit.
Just the game itself, which is what we're talking about. We're talking about the game itself. Don't mix up the demon list of the game itself. They're not the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're there's a difference between cheating and like being dishonest. And obviously being dishonest, like these definitions are in the context of a competitive game.
Yeah.
Like
not all the time. Okay, he's just trying to separate like Geometry Dash and the demon list. So like in a sense he's right. I think some of this overlaps actually between the normal game and if we're actually separating the demon list and the normal game, some of this overlaps. Like various methods to create an advantage beyond normal gameplay, usually in order to make the game easier. So like no clip would be something that overlaps.
CBF is a third-party software that manipulates the game to gain an unfair advantage over other players and to achieve better results. CBF is an advantage beyond normal gameplay used to make the game easier. How, you might ask?
I'm not asking how. I think I know how.
Well, you're not the only one watching the video. And can you stop burping, nigga? What the fuck?
In the game, which allows you to literally click in between frames or create your own physics steps. CBF is no debate manipulating the game to make it easier.
This is very reductive. Like saying there's no mechanic in the game that if you're modifying the game by literally any means, making the game different, a vanilla game is like intending. You're like,
There's wait. What do you mean? What is reductive? There's nothing in the vanilla game of Geometry Dash that allows you to click between frames, physics steps, or to make your own physics step every time you click. That's just a fact.
like saying there's no mechanic in the game that if you're modifying the game by literally any means, making the game different, a vanilla game is like intending. You're like taking a very like this is like a very specific.
Not all mods are cheats, though. Not all modifications are cheats. Not all mods allow you to click between the physics steps that we're running on.
Specific instance that you're like claiming is unethical when like literally any.
I'm not saying it's unethical either.
To start off, I believe that CBF is an amazing mod and a tool that grants the community more accessibility to levels and more benefit.
Is like changing the game in some way.
I'm just saying
like,
it's cheating.
It may be a varying degree to which it changes the game, but like it doesn't matter. Like it's still changing the game, and therefore I consider literally any mod cheating. But that's like also ridiculous to expect everyone to play in vanilla, and there's lots of benefits, mods, and
Wait, what did you? How did you arrive at that? What do you think I'm saying? So you got that part.
this is very
So no, you can't extend that to every mod
productive.
because not all mods do that specific thing. Like modifying the game by any this isn't modifying the game by any means. This is a very specific modification to a game, and not all modification are cheating. Like start position switcher is not cheating. Speed hack is cheating. That's modifying the game. That is cheating. What's another mod that's not cheating? Being able to like have the RBG icon trail is a modification to the game, but that's not cheating. This is very specific.
But how are you gonna call that reductive and then say that any mod is cheating, and
Any
then
mod cheating is wild.
not realize that that's reductive?
It's just like you
Just
take
explaining
teams of your
CBF.
points for no reason.
Yeah, but this is he's like I'm not disagreeing with him that it's cheating. I agree with him on that part. I think I think he's being reductive in the way that he's like explaining that it's cheating, and I think that's leading him to have a really dumb argument.
It being from a third-party software that allows you to manipulate the way the game works on a fundamental level that the base game obviously doesn't allow you to do. That's more so why it's cheating.
Is cheating in terms of it being a third-party software? Yeah, but I mean, I still think. My God, why are you going after me for this? This is such a fucking dumb thing to go after. Like, I'm just like, am I not allowed to just like?
You see, like, and this is the attitude that I pointed out. Like, this is a commenter. I mean, I can't see the comment that he's responding to, but
nobody's saying that you're not allowed to pick apart or whatever. I don't even think that anybody's going after you. Like, I don't know why we're being so hostile to the comment.
Talk about what I like disagree with in his like definition.
Nope.
I know what he's gonna argue. I like skimmed through the video. I'm just covering everything. Like otherwise I'd have to go back in the video and cover it. Like what? Like I don't understand your point. I don't know. I use mods. I do use mods.
Bro, fucking go to the
I don't
doctor.
always use them. But that's what's fun about it. I like overanalyze.
So you said that you like over analyzing, but then you're like, whenever he's like, oh, he's like over explaining CBF. I don't know why you laughed at that comment.
It's just not that complicated of a topic. Yeah, no, he's gonna fucking overcomplicate it. Cheating implies nefarious and really doesn't.
No.
I feel
Hacking
like
Doesn't?
does. I think hack.
Not all the time, but yeah, cheating does imply nefarious intent. Why do you think cheaters aren't? There's literally a saying: cheaters never
Cheating does
wins.
not.
I don't think that does either. I mean, you can. It's like
You don't think hacking implies nefarious intent? Obviously, not all the time. There's always going to be like outliers and stuff.
and I also think that's like more like your interpretation. Like, come on, dude. If you, that's like that's really just your interpretation of it. Because like if you get mad at
Yeah.
someone for using a fucking Game Shark, you're a fucking loser. Just shut the fuck up. That's so dumb. Like.
I don't even know what a game
I-
shark is.
It's like it's such a harmless thing that I think
Most of the time, cheating implies nefarious intent because most games aren't like this that are single player, like where cheats are relevant. Most of the time, you're like playing multiplayer games like Call of Duty or like Apex Legends or Fortnite or whatever. And if you're cheating in those games, it's like you're looked down upon because you're ruining the experience and the time of other players. Why do you think cheaters and hackers get banned from the game? So yes, when people hear the word cheating in general, it usually implies nefarious intent.
the important part is that
Like you hear the word cheating and you like automatically are like, oh.
that implication should be challenged, right? Like that's such a fucking stupid thing to like to like yeah, that is the case. I don't think it should be that way.
CBF into the game for all players to use as an option, then no, it will not be cheating. Now, people may not like the term cheating because the word implies nefarious intent. Like this one commenter said perfectly, I'm fairly sure the vast majority of people...
Oh, that's my video! That's so funny!
Bro, and I actually agreed with that video.
Okay, wait. Wanting it and thinking it is cheating.
Are not mutually exclusive. You can have them at the same time. You can want something and thinking that it... and understand that it's cheating at the same time.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a good...
They put my comment of
do agree
I
with
cheat,
that.
wife on hap in the video.
I feel I can't fucking like
Copyright strike time.
I can't like get like if you can agree with this, I can't then understand how like you would not like just be okay with people cheating. Like I don't know. Oh, wait, you know what is interesting though? I figured this person didn't actually watch my video, but they're gonna go over common rebuttals.
I don't remember a lot, but I do remember watching the whole thing. I can easily rewatch it, but...
I mean, I'd hope they'd at least go over my video, or they're just like fucking...
I hope they put my comment on your video saying... I cheat,
wait, hold on.
wife
At
on
least,
hap.
like, go over your video or what?
Yeah.
In the video.
What does this comment mean? I'm stupid? Okay, so they're just saying that...
Oh my goodness gracious. Come on, bro.
To watch my video and then not address the point I make. Like... I hope he actually goes over what I said about, like, GD not being a competitive environment. Like... Because I said that in the video. You better fucking go over.
But what are you talking about? GD isn't a competitive environment. This idea that you have to have like the normal game separate to the demon list or like competitive GD is ridiculous. The demon list version of Geometry Dash is based on actual Geometry Dash. But I don't really need to address it because that's not like central to what I'm saying. I'm saying, so basically what I end up saying is that clicks between frames is a cheat in, like, if we want to separate it, normal geometry dash, right? Therefore, even though the daemon list allows it, it's still a cheat in normal geometry dash, an actual geometry dash. Therefore, just be more transparent when you use it, when you're uploading the competitive, like your competitive geometry dash completions. Why do I have to look at what you said in the video about it not being a competitive environment? Because if I'm going off of that alone, that's not entirely true at all. And competitive GD is a huge, like, aspect of the game. When you cheat in a video game, it is usually coming at the expense of other people, which is why it is looked down upon. For instance, aimbot or wall hacks in Call of Duty comes at the expense of other players' time and experience. But because Geometry Dash is a single player game, using hacks isn't coming at the expense of anyone in most cases. When you cheat in a video game, it is usually coming at the expense of other people. We're locked in now. Which is why it is looked down upon.
No, it's literally never at the expense of another person unless you're being dishonest.
What? No. So now you're confusing the fact that I'm saying when you hear the word cheating, you don't only hear the word cheating in Geometry Dash. I'm saying cheating in general. When you cheat in a video game, in respect to video games at least, like not relationships, because that's a whole different definition. Like you don't have like a partner in video games to like walk out on and like go sleep with and like. But it absolutely comes at the expense of other people in general, which is why I'm saying when you hear the word cheating, it implies nefarious intent.
Like considered objectionable is because there are defined defined rules for what's cheating or not. If everyone was allowed to use aimbot, it would be a much different game. It might be less fun, but it would be fair, right? It would be fair in the sense that everyone would be following the defined rules. It obviously wouldn't be fair overall.
But because Geometry Dash is a single player game, using hacks isn't coming at the expense of anyone in most cases. Also because...
Okay, he got that right. He did get that right.
No. It's not that I got it right. It's that now I'm using it in the context of Geometry Dash. You're failing to understand that there's like cheating can be applied to, like, I'm not just talking about Geometry Dash.
Made the assumption that he would get that wrong. Okay, he's got it so far. So far, this is good.
Yep, so far, this is a walk in the park. Only had to pause 14 times.
So far, this is, like, decent. Like, there's some things I think, like, will, like, lead him to this argument that I think are wrong, like, very small things. I'm, like, jumping to conclusions, but once I watch the whole video, I will readjust what I have to say.
I get what you're saying, but by the end of the video, you called me a fucking asshole. So I don't think we've gotten far.
Yeah, you're just...
But okay, we agree on that. Okay, cool. FPS bypass was never cheating, even when routes...
Oh my god, what the fuck? What? How is he gonna defend this after what he just said about C? Fucking crazy.
Yeah, I want to hear him out before I say
I
that.
think it's
thank you. Friend number, like, in the background. How are you gonna ask a question that you're gonna get an answer to if you just watch the
I feel like
video?
you should just watch the video on this one.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Yeah, your friend, I get you.
Says, like, it's the thing I said about him being reductive about what changes the game or not. Because, like,
yeah.
Like, he was saying, like, oh, CBF changes the game, but, like...
See, that's not what I said. That's not... You're being reductive.
Yes, it does change the game. It just doesn't change it to the same degree as CBF and not in the same way. That doesn't mean it doesn't change the game.
Yeah, saying never, I disagree with. If they're saying in 2.2, then yeah, sure.
No, I think it was always cheating. Because it modifies the game. Like, I think that's literally all that matters. I think, like...
So you think that anything that modifies the game is cheating?
Trying to, like...
Wait, hold on. Is that what he said? He thinks that FPS bypass is always cheating because it modifies the game.
Like, I think that's literally all that matters. I think like trying to like categorize it is fucking stupid. Because like.
So then, which one of us is being reductive?
Being able to change.
Right there, where the thing was.
Yes. Before it was a vanilla feature. Yes, I agree. Like, but like right now because it is a vanilla feature, like yeah.
Well, I mean, you're still.
But like saying never is wrong.
But like, no, I still think it's cheating because I think you're still doing something with an external tool. That's not in the game. Like it's
saying it like in the vanilla game, like it's literally in the vanilla game, like to change
Oh,
your FPS.
you mean like doing it in the vanilla game, not doing it with
Yeah.
like... Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Then,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
not, that's
They said not physics bypass. I'm saying like they said FPS.
That's not.
That's still
FPS
technically
bypass.
FPS bypass. I'd still.
It's not
say
technically
something like
FPS bypass. It's still like it's in the vanilla game now. You're referring to the thing in the vanilla game. You're not referring to an external tool.
Yeah.
FPS bypass was never cheating, even when RobTop capped the FPS limit to 240 frames per second. And if you think it is, feel free to boycott your boy Zoink, W Popoff, Thunder, Trick, and a bunch of other top players right now.
I'm not gonna
Doesn't
boycott
prove
anyone
anything.
for using a fucking hack in a video game, dude. It's
Like, I'm not saying boycott in the literal sense. I'm being hyperbolic.
like really just isn't problematic.
Like, I'm being funny. I'm saying, like, if you have a problem with FPS bypass, your favorite Geometry Dash streamer probably uses it. Your favorite Geometry Dash player uses it. That's essentially what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying actually boycott. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, I don't understand, like, why you think I'm like like I'm evil.
Just don't like. I don't care if these people no clipped everything. It really is just not a problem. Like,
What do you mean not a problem?
In 2.1,
I really just don't.
I don't care if people no clipped everything. It's not a problem.
Like, I don't care
I don't-
if these people no clipped everything. It really is just not a problem. Like,
What? I'm not even gonna begin to take that down, bro. Let's just continue the video, bro.
also, it's also funny that he makes the assumption that I don't hate like all these people. I fucking hate every person he mentioned.
What? I didn't make. Okay. I'm not replying to stupid.
I'm
things.
so bored. Can we
Not-
watch Wavix instead, Nifty?
Not hate, but not hate. I don't fucking hate them. I think they're fucking stupid.
Like, actually, whether or not you like you yourself, like let's say that you actually hold that opinion, whether or not you like a particular person that I'm like bringing up in the video is completely irrelevant because you're not the only person watching the video. Zoink and like whoever the fuck I mentioned, Thunder, Nethermind, all these people, like they're popular. Well, Nethermind's underrated, but they're like popular Geometry Dash players with followings. So yeah, people are gonna like them, and I don't understand what you not liking them. Even if you did not like them, if you weren't being like sarcastic, would have anything to do with anything.
This is just
What if
as,
what
like-
if Wavix has really interesting point?
I think this is just as brain dead as a fucking Wavix
Yeah,
video.
kinda.
I'm not gonna watch it and be like, oh boy, I'm gonna watch it and fucking tear
Oh, boy.
into it.
So now you're being condescending.
I'm like,
And if you're being if you're like being hyperbolic by calling it brain dead, then surely you can recognize that me saying like boycott was being hyperbolic or hate speech was being hyperbolic. Like I don't actually literally mean, I'm not actually literally equating whatever to like boycott.
it doesn't matter. You're still modifying it in the like.
So okay, you hold the opinion that if you're modifying the game, it's cheating. So my question to you would be, are there modifications that aren't cheating? Like start position switcher? Like, I mean, I guess in like very certain contexts, you can say start position switcher is a cheat. Like if the goal is to like, I don't know, practice, like see how fast you can practice a level in practice mode. And then if you have like start position switcher, then I guess that's cheating versus somebody who has to like go into the game and manually. But like, we can agree that there's some modifications that are cheating and some that aren't cheating. I hope we can agree on that.
Like in the context of like your exact hardware and circumstances, you're still modifying your like your in-game
But you are modifying it to get a version of the game that actually exists. When you're using CBF, you're modifying it. Like you're modifying the game to get the ability to click or to make your own physics steps. That does not exist in the actual game. That fundamentally changes how the game works. And it doesn't exist in any version of the game. Which is why, like, and then it goes back to your point on magnitude. Like, the magnitude of it doesn't matter. So CBF helps a little bit. FPS bypass helped a lot, right? But that's irrelevant. The point is that FPS bypass gave you a game environment that actually exists through the vanilla game. And yes, it changed the physics of the game, but it gave you a version of the physics that actually is attainable through just opening up Geometry Dash. Excuse me. It's just that you didn't have to buy like expensive as fuck hardware. CBF gives you a version of Geometry Dash that isn't attainable outside of the mod, while it gives you the ability to like physically change how you interact with the game.
Just locked behind expensive hardware. So no matter if you ran the game at 360 FPS, 480 FPS, or 9000 FPS, that is a version of Geometry Dash which exists. With the right hardware, you can open up vanilla Geometry Dash and get the same results as what FPS bypass gave you.
And you can't do that with CBF.
I mean, you kind of can't because you don't have that hardware.
With the right hardware, with the right hardware, with the right hardware,
With the right hardware.
Unless you do have that hardware,
Yeah.
but then you'd be playing on different hardware.
What?
However, what people don't realize is that FPS bypass allows you to play a version of Geometry Dash that actually exists. The version of the game was just locked behind expensive hardware. With the right hardware, you can open up vanilla Geometry Dash and get the same results as what FPS bypass gave you.
What about that was wrong?
I mean, you kind of can't because you don't have that hardware.
Exactly. That's why we're using FPS bypass. Wait. That's the whole purpose of FPS bypass. That's implied. You don't have the hardware. That's the whole reason why FPS bypass exists.
You kind of can't because you don't have that hardware. Unless you do have that hardware,
Yeah.
but then you'd be playing on different hardware.
Which is why it
Yeah.
was never cheated.
Well, unless you don't have that hardware, unless you do have... Okay, bro.
And his icon trail would cut. This is because he played the game on 144 Hz, which changed the physics of the game for reasons we have previously gone over. This was during a
Yeah,
time.
it changes the physics of the game. He literally just admitted it changes the physics of the game. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it's possible. It's like, you could...
Wait, by his version, by his, like, logic, Riot would have been cheating.
Yeah.
It was
See? He was like, do you think
it
Riot
like
was cheating?
someone
What?
just trying to, like,
His
be
own
fucking
mod is
responsible.
asking him that.
It being possible argument is fucking stupid. Like, you can get a cosmic bit flip and beat Sakupin wall. That doesn't mean that using no clip isn't cheating. Like,
What are you even talking about? What is your argument?
a lot of things that are possible that a logic just doesn't hold up.
I'm where
I think that's what we're disagreeing on. He thinks every mod is a cheat.
It's fucking stupid. Like, you can get a cosmic bit flip and beat Sakupin wall. That doesn't mean that using no clip isn't cheating. Like, there's a lot of things that are possible that a logic just doesn't hold up.
Hold on. Is using a 144 hertz monitor over a 60 hertz monitor the same thing as no clipping through a wall in Geometry Dash? Okay, I don't care anymore. Like, we both think that CBF is cheating. Whatever. That's we think it for different reasons, but we think that it's cheating. Wait, so if you really think that FPS bypass is cheating, you think that basically every single completion nowadays is cheating? I just don't understand the logic that, like, oh, FPS bypass now or then was cheating. Maybe like back then because it was new, but now with us being able to fully understand what it does, I don't get how you believe it can be cheating.
Eventually, more and more of the community warmed up to FPS bypass and allowed it on the demon list. Now it is basically an essential tool. This is until
It's not.
2.2 release
Just not.
and got a few upgrades.
We're at that FPS
Demon list
bypass
team
took.
allowed and still
You said it's
allowed
not
the
to-
demon list. Now it is basically an essential tool. This is until
It's
2.
not.
Yes, it is. I use it all the time, and I just beat insanes.
Literally, levels have obstacles around, like they make obstacles around the fact that, like, you can't pass this on 60 frames per second.
And this is
Like, who's beaten, like, that's why there's a mobile demon list.
because in 2.2
Like, what are we talking about? I'm just speaking in this tone because he's acting like what I'm saying is insane.
I don't remember how Riot used CBF to beat Bloodbath.
Bro, what are you saying? Was that worth interrupting this shit for?
hardest level on the demon list.
It is? I didn't know.
It reads
You didn't know that was the second hardest level on the demon list? I think that shows like how much you don't care about competitive.
I think it's third now. I'm wrong.
frames is illegitimate.
It's definitely 2. It was 2 when this video dropped. Since February? Yeah, February.
The main problem I have with CBF is how top players are forcing its normalcy just because the list allows it.
Like, do you see how, like I said it, like forcing its normalcy, and then like in the beginning it was like force normalcy.
Dude, they're just using it.
Oh my god, I didn't know that they were just using it.
No, they have a point actually.
Okay. Oh my gosh, thank you. At least tell me, like, what the fuck.
Like I feel
Like they're just using it. Nah. And I'm only being sarcastic because I've seen like how his tone shifts when this.
I can see why.
It's not forcing it by
Progressives.
any means, but it's like
I can see why.
saying that people aren't influenced by it would be a lot.
No, I just think that like this person is in like fucking like a product of like the stupid people like Doggy.
Oh,
who,
yeah.
who like come
The stupid people like Doggy.
a product of like the stupid people like Doggy.
Oh, yeah.
Like most elaborate like.
How do you
like,
feel being
position
a
ever
product,
to, like,
of the
stupid
stupid
people like Doggy?
How do you feel?
When,
Bro,
like,
I don't know.
yeah.
Man.
that is, like, person
He
is
sounds
trying
like the
to
kind
say
of dude who,
forcing
like,
it by,
when you made your top players video, you just like contrast. And they'd be like, "How dare you find Zoink well, not the number one," and then never give any form of advice or criticism, or just do a stream where he just
they're
says
being,
you're
like,
wrong,
artificial
like right now.
and
Yeah.
with the like most elaborate like position ever to like justify it being like completely legit when like
Yeah.
that has like no bearing on whether it should be accepted. Like
The saying like the demon list was forcing people to use it because CBF was like allowed or something like that.
yeah, I think
Nobody said that.
Forcing is definitely the wrong
I
word
think,
there.
I think
Forced normalcy. Do we need to explain what normalcy is? Like, let's look up the definition of normalcy so you don't think I'm making this shit up. The condition of being normal, the state of being usual, typical, or expected. Okay, so CBF is a controversial mod, right? Like, all of a sudden people are like just now starting to use CBF without really saying anything, right? Or without like disclosing the fact that they are using CBF, when the general consensus was like, oh, yeah, I'm fine as long as like you mention that you use CBF. So it just seems like, I don't know, there's not enough transparency, and that's what I mean by forced normalcy. Like, aside from like the little indicators, like no one but Zoink really like mentioned that they use CBF. And then like Tiago recently, like all of his completions were like non-CBF, and then he beat Avernus, which he did use CBF like without saying anything. So that's what I mean by like forced normalcy. Like, outside of a verification nowadays, like top players are pretty much just always using CBF. But no one's saying that like the demon list is forcing people to use, like, that's a total misinterpretation.
like artificially inflated difficulty, and therefore
Yeah.
therefore people are forced to use it. Like, you can't just play the level without CBF and take longer. Like, it's fine if you mention you use it. Good poll. Good job, GD community. This is a really fucking like good poll. This is awesome.
I'm eating a sophisticated meal to this.
I have faith in the GD community.
Not too long ago, this was the general consensus. Now, what if I told you that most players as of recent have been using it for their top level completions? Everybody who beat Avernus after W pop-off used CBF to do so. A lot of people bragged about how Zoink beat Spectre and Anathema in under 2 weeks. Well, he was using CBF.
Okay, this is where okay, this guy's just fucking. Now this guy is just being a fucking dickhead because they're just putting.
What? Like, what about that led you to believe that I'm being a dickhead? Wait. So, just like from a logical, I'm asking you because I know you're a logical person.
Yeah.
At any point in the video, did I put anybody down?
No.
So he's calling me a dickhead. He's like, you're putting people down because I said that like everybody after pop off beat Avernus beat it with CBF, and that Zoink and that Zoink beat Anathema and Spectre with CBF. That's all I said. What about me mentioning the fact that Zoink was using CBF on certain completions makes me a dickhead? Like, now you're name calling without any reason to. Like, and that like at this point of the stream, that's where I was like, what kind of conversation do you want to have? Like, what's the tone that we're gonna like go with? You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna like sit up here and like try to be like all cordial and stuff when like I'm being name called for not being aggressive or anything. Like, if you got offended by the fact that I said Zoink was using CBF on Anathema and Spectre, that is entirely a you problem.
Okay. No, they're using CBF.
We don't. Not everybody does. You can't just assume that everybody knows that they're using CBF.
That's
Why do you keep
what I
burping?
have to say.
You can. I don't give a shit if you brag about being platinum adventure. Do it. That doesn't like you can't not brag about things if you're like bad at the game. You're like don't put people down for like.
Who's putting anybody down? What? Well, this is such a suspect interpretation of what I'm saying.
Zoink beat Spectre and Anathema in under 2 weeks. Well, he was using CBF.
That's mentioning a fact. That's not putting people down. In the context of that conversation, people were saying, oh, Zoink did this accomplishment and this accomplishment. And that's why he's better than Zoink or Trick. And that's why your opinion isn't valid. That's basically. And I'm saying, well, he was using CBF. What about that is putting people down? Like, if you're put down by that, I'm sorry, bro. You need to grow up. Like, it's not my job to make sure. Okay, I'll say it
You're
later.
very aware of it, so just shut the fuck up. Who cares? And the fact that it is normalized, like, it's just not.
I'm so like the way I didn't know that they were using CBF until I myself used CBF and saw that like the CPS doubled when you're using CBF. I don't think everybody knows that, and I don't think it's that hard. Like, I don't think it takes that much time out of your day to just like say in the description or like even in the title or like CBF or whatever. Like how people used to do. Like Mizuki beat Unknown. He was like CBF may have been involved.
When someone does something, like there's a good chance they're using it. You're aware of that, so just take it for what it is. Obviously, it's if they're in vanilla GB, it's gonna be harder. And I do think people should be transparent about it. I think.
So then what are you yapping about? What is your problem with what I'm saying?
The fact that
Because my solution was merely to be more transparent.
I do think people should be transparent about it. I think the fact that it's so
No, you don't.
normalized means it's like not really that important.
don't.
Like,
You
it's
spent
not,
like the entire
super
early part of the
important
video
to
like
be,
kind of contrasting
exactly
that.
like mega transparent about it because like so many people use it that like you can pretty much infer
You literally
that
just said you know they're using CBF, so take it for what it is. And now you're saying I think
I defend
people
it
should be
if they mention
transparent about it.
people are using it.
Well, to be fair, he did support it
So,
earlier when
like-
the poll thing came up,
Yeah.
but
Now he's saying he's saying shut
says
the
a point,
fuck up.
contradicts it, then goes back on his point.
Normalized means it's like not really that important. Like it's not like super important to be like exactly like mega transparent about it because like so many people use it that like you can pretty much infer.
So this is like a pretty new thing. So CBF is like splitting the community in two. It's relatively new. Like people weren't really using it until like December. Like because even in July, people weren't using CBF to beat levels. I think Zoink started using it like 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. The first time I've seen anybody use CBF was like Spectre, or like besides Grief Doggy, was like Spectre with Trick. So like no, you can't assume that like everybody knows. And even like this is a relatively new thing. It absolutely is a new thing. And even if everybody knows, there's like you're using a mod, like a controversial mod that, as we established, as we both agree, is cheating. So what's the harm in just saying that you're using it? Like you don't have to. You don't have to. It's not your obligation. You don't have to. But I just think that it's like healthy to mention the fact that you're using a mod that's like very controversial and that not a lot of people can discern. Like not everybody knows that like if the CPS counter doubles, that means you're using CBF. Not a lot of people can like would even look for like the tiny transparent CBF thing in the top right of the end screen. Like not everybody knows that. What? Don't call people a dickhead for for pointing out the fact that they're using CBF. And then this was the crazy. This was like the part where I was like, what are you talking about?
Like just and if you really care that much, just fucking ask them if they're using it.
So like that's not extra as fuck, right? Ask if they're using it. So like if enough people ask, what would the logical thing be to do? To answer the question before it's asked. To just put it in your description or something. I think that's a little more extra, but if that was like just ask them is fine, then it's definitely also fine to include like 3 letters in your description.
It really is not that big of a deal.
And I'm not even saying it's a big of a deal. Like right now I'm just stating facts. Doggy is using CBF to verify Grief. Trick used CBF on Spectre, Anathema, and the Apocalyptic Trilogy, which is apparently a top 30, but he beat it in 800 attempts. Servax is now beating Tidal Wave with CBF and is in an unofficial race against Tiago, who is not using CBF to beat Tidal Wave.
That they're in an unofficial race to beat Tidal Wave or whatever the fuck level you just said, and one of them is using
It was Tidal Wave,
and one is not. That's gotta be just the dumbest shit ever.
Okay.
It's the dumbest shit ever to say that they're in an unofficial race, right? Has a new Tidal Wave race started? Question mark. 58,000 views.
But apparently, that could be about to change now, since some very skilled players have been making some insane progress on it, and apparently, this is slowly becoming a race. Let's start with Servax.
I don't see how that's like the stupidest fucking thing ever. Like, I think we all know that they're in an unofficial race.
I don't think you realize how luck-based this game is.
I don't think you guys realize. Do you guys realize? Do you guys realize that? I don't know if you guys realize.
Okay, I don't think you realize that.
I don't know if you guys realize.
Like, like there is literally so much that plays into like how fast you gain skill, how much time you have to play the game. Like all of that is literally completely contingent on luck.
And I don't think you realize how that does not apply to this situation at all.
I don't think you guys realize.
It literally like your financial well-being will determine how much time you have to play the game. Your genetics will determine how fast you gain skill. It is literally so unfair that it is just like complaining about CBF making things unfair is like just like beyond.
Okay, so in the context of a geometry dash race between a player like Tiago and a player like Servax, we can probably assume that their financial well-being is like sort of on the same page because they're both top players that play the game at relatively the same frequency. Like we can assume that they're both playing the game, they're both top players, they both have enough time to gain significant progress on Tidal Wave for it to be a race. So the idea that one person has more time to play than the other or whatever is just null and void, and it's irrelevant. Like their genetics, they're both top players playing at the highest level. So that's irrelevant also. Like we're not comparing like random people to top players. Like I'm not saying applying those things doesn't even make sense. I can't even like describe a situation where that would make sense because otherwise we wouldn't be talking about a race.
In the grand scheme of things, there are people like who probably have like an hour a week to play this game.
Right, and Servax and Tiago are probably not those people, given the fact that they're making Tidal Wave progress at the same rate, given the fact that they're both top players playing at a similar level. Like, what are we talking about? Why is any of this relevant?
They're fucking like working for their like working so that their family has like enough money to like barely get by, you know. And like,
he's basically saying that the rate, calling it an unofficial race is stupid, like a GD race. Like, you know, Tiago's beating Tidal Wave and Servax.
Yeah.
So and then he's like listing off all these factors. They're both top players.
Yeah.
That are making progress on Tidal Wave like at the same rate.
Yeah, it's just like a little unofficial race.
So it's like how much time someone has to play the game, genetics and whatnot. It's probably very comparable because they're top players who are demonstrating that they're playing the game at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't understand why I can't call it like an unofficial race.
Yeah, similar to when it was an unofficial race when Yatagarasu came out and Sonics and I forget the other dude's name, unfortunately. Like when they were essentially in an unofficial race to be the first to beat it because at the same time 2.1 was on the line.
Yeah.
Whoever beat it first
This shit was
got 2.1 out.
Yeah. Oh. But I'm like, why not? Like, why is it an issue if you call it as... I'm like, CBF will affect, like, the outcome of the race way more than any of those other factors that you're saying. Because they're already
CBF
on the same level.
Yeah, if they're on the same level, then using someone like CBF, where it's like literally a mod, does make it slightly easier and give a slight advantage.
Right.
Like, I understand, like, that aspect of saying it's cheating, but I feel like it also is just determined on whether the player wants to use it. Like... If both of them wanted to use it, they both want to use it. Yeah, that's true. One of them doesn't, then one of them just doesn't want to use it.
And I'm not saying that it's, like, unfair. I'm just saying, like, they're in an unofficial race. This one is using CBF. This one is. I just think that it's like if I look at Tiago beating Tidal Wave, I think it's like just a little bit more impressive than Servax because he's not using the mod.
Yeah, I think it's slightly more impressive, especially if they come within like similar attempt counts.
Yeah, that's basically all I'm saying.
To discuss CBF, like,
but no,
in
it's a
that
huge deal.
circumstance.
We're getting to the
There's
big boy
just
shit. Like,
so many factors in play that literally the only solution to this is to just not take it seriously. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, like, pay attention to the fact that it's the level itself. If they both had all the other factors, what is still going to be a determinant factor? CBF use. Like, I get it. There's so much other shit happening in the world that determines how much time and whatever you have, but so what? We're trying to take it from like the game standpoint. Sometimes you have to make assumptions. Oh no.
Beyond stupid to take something like that seriously.
Wait, and then how's the solution to not take it seriously?
Don't take it seriously. It's just like one of the top levels and one of the hardest games ever created.
Beyond stupid to take stuff like that seriously. There are people who play the game for 10 hours a day. Like, CBF is so inconsequential when you compare, like, someone who plays the game for 10 hours a day and has like really good fucking genetics to someone who plays the game for 1 hour a day and fucking sucks ass. Like, it's
right, but like Tiago isn't someone who plays the game 1 hour a day and sucks ass versus Servax being someone who's really good and plays 10 hours a day. They're both top players.
They're both still top players.
Like, what the fuck?
It's just,
well, there's none of what you're saying is relevant.
That's not part of the argument
at all.
And I don't have a problem with people not
I'm like, what are we talking
with
about?
playing the demon list and taking it somewhat seriously, but like, dude, like, I don't give a shit how frustrating it is that you can't like rise the ranks or whatever. It's just not.
Bro, who said
that
anything
serious.
about rising the
literally
ranks?
just not that serious.
Bro, am I crazy or like?
No, like I got ADD and he's going off on like more side tangents than I do.
Like, that person could potentially be a top player. It's like, it's so like.
We're not talking about anybody who can potentially be a top player. We're talking about two top players. So should the entire Geometry Dash community not have paid attention to the first victor race of Tidal Wave, like between W Popoff and Trick? That should have garnered no hype within the community because it's so stupid. Because like genetics, time played, like what are we talking about? These are two evenly skilled players that are playing the game.
Stupid.
Like all of these like factors that you're bringing in just have no bearing. Like I'm comparing it in this specific case. Like, I'd agree with you. It is very stupid to compare like a top player with like people who don't really play this game seriously and then calling it unfair. But in this specific case, when everything else, like, we're all on the same playing field, like same level of skill, same like amount of time to play, or like comparable at least, because they're both making Tidal Wave progress at a comparable rate. Like, yeah, CBF is gonna be a much more determining factor than that. Like, there's no need to bring up genetics when we're talking about two top players already. Like, we can assume that they have like good Geometry Dash genetics. Like, I feel like you think that I'm ascribing this situation to everything. And that's why I was like, when you're looking, I told them this directly, like, when you're interpreting shit, like, you need to better process like what is being said. Right now we're in the context of a Geometry Dash race. Like, yeah, if I were to compare like a top player and like everybody else, then like CBF would be inconsequential. Why would I compare a top player performance to like my performance? Like, I'm trying to beat Phobos right now. Like, that's like, we're not even in the conversation. Watch this.
Because now a completion with CBF and one without CBF have the same value.
No, they don't. They only have the same value because you're a fucking moron and you can't like, dude, if you actually...
No, it has the same value, not because I'm a moron, but because a record with CBF is accepted the same way that a record without CBF is accepted. That's why they have the same value.
They don't have the same value. They have the same value on the demon list.
That's what I'm saying! Oh my god!
Have the same value.
No, they don't. They only have the same value because you're a fucking moron and you can't like, dude, if you actually... They have the same value on the demon list.
So why is this nigga getting so mad, bro?
Over nothing.
I said they have the same value because the list accepts it the same way.
Yeah.
Like,
if the list accepts it, they both have
the same value.
Essential
That's
value.
why I circled Popoff and Servax. Servax used CBF, Popoff didn't. Do you see any difference here? They both are accepted at 100%.
Exactly.
They have the same value.
Just said that.
And if you don't think that they have the same value, wouldn't you think that it's like slightly more impressive if someone beat like the same level?
Yeah,
without?
it's you both accomplish the same thing. But if you want to look at like the individual little things, I would say it's slightly more impressive to use it. But again, not by like a distinguishable amount because it's still the same general value. You both beat a top level.
Right.
Determine whether something's cheating. They also don't determine whether someone's a good player, you fucking moron. Like, if you're really, like, then deciding that these have the same value, then it's
Wait,
you.
the demon list does decide what's cheating and what's not.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
They
You
don't
just
accept
said
records.
that the demon list doesn't say
Like, why are you name calling when you can't even interpret what I'm saying?
that the demon list doesn't, like, determine whether something's cheating. They also don't determine whether someone's a good player, you fucking moron. Like, if you're really,
Like, who is saying that? Determine whether someone's a good player?
then deciding that these have the same value, then it's you that's the fucking problem, dumbass. Like, that's...
Bro, the irony in this is insane.
If you really, like, are expecting the demon list to be, like, a fucking, like perfect, like without flaw representation of how good someone is, then you're a fucking idiot.
Did, like, at any point in the video,
No.
Okay.
I didn't even have to fucking answer it.
Oh my god.
Sure, this is the same accomplishment, and that's fine.
Yes, it is fine.
But in actuality,
Yes, it is fine.
Look at the attitude with agreeing with
Oh.
If you really, like, are expecting the demon list
what are we
to be, like, a fucking, like perfect, like without flaw representation of how good someone is, then you're a fucking idiot.
Who said that? All I said in the... Bro, I need to look back at my own video, because now you got me fucked up.
now beating Tidal Wave with CBF, and is in an unofficial race against Tiago, who is not using CBF to beat Tidal Wave. Now, some people might ask, who can...
Like, and then also somebody asked who will win the Tidal Wave race, you think? Somebody involved in the race admitted that there was a race by saying they're playing 2.2 CBF titles, so they're going to win. So there is a race because the person involved said that.
This is because now a completion with CBF and one without CBF have the same value when it physically doesn't and shouldn't be perceived in such a way. For instance, if W Pop-Off and Servax were to...
I don't understand what was so, like, crazy about that. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand how you even began to arrive at, like, oh, the demon list is, like, a perfect interpretation of skill. Huh? What are we talking about right now? Who said that, and how did you get there?
Like perfect, like without flaw representation of how good someone is, then you're a fucking idiot.
And a record doesn't even depict that in the first place. So, like, I'm just trying to figure out ways in, like, what you arrived at. I showed records, and, yeah, one record of one level doesn't depict how good you are as a player. I even said, like, a little bit of research would show you that I said that several times, pointer crate placements don't mean anything. Whoever, like, if we go look at pointer crate, let's see. You have, like, this person above Doggy. I guarantee you Doggy is a better person than Levy. There's no, like math isn't gonna, like, math alone isn't gonna tell you how good or bad somebody is. It isn't gonna create, like, the perfect picture. At no point did I insinuate that. I don't think I've said anything that should have logically led you to believe that I said that. I don't understand. Like, what's with the name calling because you can't interpret what is being said?
Awesome award. Good job,
Does it
Reddit.
get the same recognition? Is Trick beating Tidal Wave the same thing as ASIC?
Oh god, do not start with recognition. Like, that's the other thing too, is like, if you're like a fucking top player and you're talking about recognition, dude, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's no one is going to receive the recognition they deserve or don't deserve.
I agree with that.
It will never happen. It will never happen. Like, there's no way of quantifying that, so shut the fuck up about it. Like, there's literally no, like, way to argue whether someone's getting what they deserve, like, in terms of recognition for playing a fucking cube game. Like, there's no way to quantify that.
But to that point, I believe that if you beat something without CBF, that's an entirely, like, that's a harder experience than beating a level with CBF, a top player. So I think that holds more magnitude, and that magnitude should be recognized. That's essentially what is being said. Like, obviously, you're not going to get the recognition you deserve. Bro, like, top players beating levels get, like, 20K, 30K views. When you're literally doing, like, one of the hardest feats that you can in, like, any video game. And no, you can't quantify that. Nobody's saying that you can quantify that. I'm saying that if you beat a level without CBF, it's, like, of slightly higher magnitude. I didn't even say slightly higher in the video, so, like, I'll just say, like, right now, higher magnitude. Like, it's, to me at least, and I think to several other people, or else CBF wouldn't be that controversial. I think that it's a more impressive feat because you're doing it without a mod that allows you to click, or excuse me, to make your own physics steps. So not like recognition, but like recognizing the fact that, oh, I did this with this mod versus I did this without this mod. That's it. Nobody's like saying like, no, you obviously can't quantify like what deserve, like how much recognition is deserved upon like an arbitrary, like beating an arbitrary level. Like that's to say that like, does beating Tidal Wave deserve like 100,000 views on YouTube or 10,000 views or 50,000? Like obviously that's not possible.
In the eyes of the demon list, sure, this is the same accomplishment, and that's fine.
Yes, it is fine.
But in actuality,
like, why the attitude? Yes, it is fine.
Isn't, and the audience has the right to understand that. Not once.
You can understand that if you're not a fucking moron, dude. Like, I think.
Okay, so if someone doesn't know if you're using CBF or not, like that makes them a moron. Like they don't know the telltale signs. I can't, bro.
I really think like if you're expecting, like, it just isn't a big deal because like you can't expect everyone to give it this much thought, and like they don't, and that's
fair. But this is a very like the community is split in two about this mod. This is like a very big topic. This is a very big point of contention in the community, which is why when I made a video about it, I got 12,000 views on it. When I usually average like 100, 200 views per video.
You can't expect everyone to give it this much thought, and like they don't.
That's why we make videos about it, is to get those thoughts.
That literally just is what it is. You can't.
Some people do care about this.
That's what I'm
analyzing
saying.
top players.
Oh my god! I'm like, bro, you're acting like just because you don't care doesn't mean that there's like a
I
big
understand
portion of
that the
people who do.
average player is not going to care about this because they're trying to beat their own like levels that they want to work on. But the people who actively like to engage in what the top players are doing, because this game is really fucking hard, let them analyze it. Let them have opinions.
True. Just the reality. Like, that literally just is what it is. You can't change the fact that people won't get the recognition they deserve sometimes. And, like, people have, like...
That's not what is being said.
Different perceptions, or, like, different perceptions of, like, who should receive recognition.
And that's very true, but, like I said, the top level play is a huge aspect of the community, which is why this is relevant.
I do not care about
like you not caring about like they say vision. I'll just let them talk.
I think like people like vision or like high like infinitely more interesting than like point. You know what
Okay, so like that's you, but most people don't think that, which is why Vision's most popular video was him beating Silent Clubstep when it was top 3, because that was top level play. It's his most popular video by over 1.5 million views. And his next most popular video is counting the frame perfects in that level. And then his next popular video after that is him getting progress on that level. Oh, Silent Club Step 2, though, got 100,000 views. Like, you can't act like there isn't a demand for, like, top level play. That it's, like, I just don't understand how you think that this isn't, like, important to a lot of people. Or how you wouldn't be able to understand.
Like, different perceptions of, like, who should receive recognition. I don't give a shit about any of these top players.
But that's, like, not most people. Ah, fuck. Bro, I'm looking at this fucking Tidal Wave clip. Bro, this shit is so impressive that people are able to, like, get in between, like, gaps that tight at that speed with that precision. That's crazy.
Are using CBF without mentioning it. Again, it's their prerogative, but it seems sort of sneaky as well as...
That's true, actually. I think people should be transparent about it. I think that's always a good thing. I think the more transparency, the better.
Huh?
The other thing is, like, you can't be transparent about everything.
And then here you go, like, putting in more factors that are just completely irrelevant.
Tidal Wave 100%, CBF on. I'm rich and I
Yeah.
have infinite free time. Like you're not gonna put that in the fucking title.
I'm rich and I have free time is like a new mod that is like sparked a lot of talk in the Geometry Dash community that allows you to click between the physics steps. Yeah, I'm rich and I have a lot of free time. Is the same thing as click between frames. Like this is bad faith.
Like, like it's
Like as long as it's still present in the video, I think it's fine. Like the CBF
I mean, no,
watermark.
it doesn't
and
even
stuff,
matter.
I think
Like,
that's fine.
if you really want transparency, ask the fucking person what they use.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You can't always get the full story. Like you'll never get the full. You can't be transparent about everything.
But we're not talking about everything. We're just talking about something that makes the game like slightly easy.
I have infinite free time. Like you're not.
You can't be transparent about everything. Like, what do you want? do you want everyone to be like, I use this? Actually, a lot of people do say exactly what mask they use. But I use this in a darkly lit room at 38% blue lighting. Like,
But
if you're
what he's
using
about
something
to
that
say.
actively, like, how actively is on the game itself, be transparent about it. Like
Right.
how FPS bypass, like you needed to be transparent about it because it was not necessarily like a cheat, but it was a tool at the time. Now it's an integrated part of the game.
Right, and it
so
was
you
like
no longer
very
have
new.
to be transparent about it. But CBF is just, we're going in that path again. Just be transparent about it. You can't be transparent about everything, man. Like, shut up.
We're just talking about CBF.
like, to use your point against you, no one cares that deeply.
But yeah, caring.
Oh
About
yeah. Asking whether or not you use CBF is like trying to stir up drama,
It's like so.
or saying that you should
No,
put it
it's
in your
not.
Just trying
description.
to, like,
I think you
cause
should put it
drama
in the
for no reason.
description.
You can't be transparent about everything.
But this is CBF. This is CBF. This is very relevant to the community right now. Right now, at least. This is like the beginning stages of it being implemented.
I don't have a problem with top players using the mod to beat and submit a level to the records if said platform accepting the record allows the mod. However, we as the audience at the bare minimum deserve to know whether or not the mod was used in order to properly grasp the magnitude of the achievement. That's all. However, we as the audience at the bare minimum deserve to know whether or not the
No,
mod
you
was
fucking don't. Shut the fuck up.
So yeah, this is why I was like, bro, what kind of conversation do you want to have?
You don't.
And literally just a second ago, you said, I always think transparency is a good thing.
That's true. Actually, I think people should be transparent about it. I think that's always a good thing. I think the more transparency, the better.
So then what's wrong with me saying this?
However, we as the audience at the bare minimum deserve to know whether or not the
No,
mod
you
was
fucking don't. Shut the.
Like, what are you, like, why are you getting so hostile over that when you literally said that transparency is always a good thing?
Shut the fuck up.
No, you don't.
You
Yeah.
don't.
So, like, you don't need to know, shut the fuck up. And then 30 seconds ago, he's like, oh, I think more transparency is, like, needed. I think transparency is always good. Like, did he not say that?
He literally did.
To anything.
Like, wait,
If
so
you-
listen to this.
No, you fucking don't.
More
Shut the
transparency
fuck
to the
up.
issue.
No, you don't.
You
Yeah.
don't.
You don't.
Caring about that is ask the fuck.
Oh.
It's a good thing. I think the more transparency, the better.
The more transparency, the better. So to ask a player if they need transparency, oh, you don't. Oh,
You fucking don't. Shut the fuck up.
shut the fuck up.
You don't.
You don't.
It doesn't matter. If
Doesn't
you
matter.
really care that much, you're taking it way too seriously.
Welcome to capitalism. We need to know.
Too seriously, it's you.
Everyone crying and bitching and
You don't
moaning.
need to know.
Like, I asked him.
Literally crying and moaning about
I
it.
asked him, so I was like, I said, as for what I could possibly say at the end, I said, from what I saw, your attitude was unnecessarily combative, and you blew a lot of what I said out of proportion to the degree that you think I'm a fucking asshole to those who use CBF. You said, shut the fuck up, to a point you essentially agreed with 30
Yeah,
seconds
which is
prior.
what we're just on.
I said, like, what was your goal here? Are you trying to come to an understanding, add to the convo, or just get butthurt and sulk when I say something you disagreed with? And then to that point, he said, I also think it's funny that you misconstrue me promoting people feeling good about something they achieved without some asshole telling them it's ruining the game with being butthurt.
Really, you don't need to know. You don't. You're not owed anything.
Okay, that's your opinion. But I'm pretty sure, hold on. So you're acting like this is the craziest thing in the world. While I disagree with most of this video, I do respect you a lot for putting opinions out there, and I enjoy the discussions it can start. I actually do agree with the proposed idea of a CBF flag on pointer crate record displays. By King Crab, the second half of their comment was absolutely agree on people needing to disclose they use CBF though.
it really should be in people's descriptions or somewhere on the demon list if you click around, because it is important information. Like, I'm not making this shit up. Like, other people care about this shit. Like just because you think it's irrelevant doesn't mean you like have to be hostile to somebody else having a different opinion by somebody thinking it is relevant. I like how you believe that I'm harassing, like me saying like, oh, like include CBF in like a title or a description is harassing, but you asking the person directly isn't. Like what's a more logical what's a more logical solution? Like, just push for somebody having it in the description so you don't have to ask, or just like berate somebody, or not even berate, because I'm not gonna take, they didn't say berate, they said ask the person. I'm not taking what you're saying out of context. Damn, would have been nice if you did the same for me.
Right, like if someone is just lying about like all of their circumstances in order to like receive more credit, then that is like dishonest. But if you're just not putting the fact that you use fucking CBF in the description, it's like you're not really being.
And I'm not calling it dishonest. I'm just saying that it would be nice if you did include that information. Nobody's calling you, like, nobody's mad at you for not putting the thing. Like, do you not hear the tone of this video? Like, the tone that I'm speaking to you in right now is a little bit different than the tone in this video. Like, can we discern that? Like, nobody's mad at them for not including that in the description. I'm saying that it would be nice.
However, we as the audience at the bare minimum deserve to know whether or not the mod was used in order to properly grasp the magnitude of the achievement. That's all.
That's all. That's literally it. Acting like crazy. Like, that's what I meant by you acting like me being hyperbolic in the beginning, and like me saying, oh, don't act like somebody's opinion differing from yours is like a form of hate speech. Because you're like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's what I meant by you getting butthurt too. Like, are you actually trying to have a conducive conversation, or are you just gonna like whine and bitch and moan whenever I say something you don't agree with? Like, shut the fuck up. You're not owed shit. Like, am I in psychosis? Like, did I imagine that being said?
No, you fucking don't. Shut the fuck up.
Like, what is your, like, why the attitude? Like, God forbid somebody thinks that including something in a description is relevant and you don't.
About like all of their circumstances in order to.
And it's not all of your circumstances. It's whether you use CBF or not. I don't understand what we're not understanding about that.
It's like you're not really not being transparent. Like, no one is questioning you about it. It's if people like question you about it.
Why do you think nobody's questioning you about it?
You're not lying by like hiding that information. Like,
no one's saying they're lying even if they did hide that information. Nobody's saying that. We're just saying that we would appreciate some transparency if you're using like a mod that is very... Bro, what is the first thing that you see on streams when people are like verifying levels? Is he using CBF? Is he using CBF? Look at Popov's stream. Are you using CBF to verify Amethyst? Like, people care about that shit.
You're not hiding it by not saying it. You're
not.
By lying about.
People think that FNM.
But you being transparent about something, you not being transparent about something doesn't mean that you're hiding that thing. Those are two different things. Me asking you to be more transparent doesn't imply that I'm saying that you're lying about it.
The other problem I have with CBF is that it will intrinsically mess up demon list placements.
No, we're gonna be here for a while.
Shut the fuck up, man. This one is so bad because like there's nothing perfect about demon list placements. Like, everyone is going to find different levels harder than other levels. Like, if you try to
achievements are different for everyone.
Yes,
it does not matter what they.
They're so vastly different for everyone. No, not most placements are opinion based. They're all opinion based.
They're all opinion based with the purpose of finding an objective, of making an objective list. I bet you they think that I'm gonna say that like don't include CBF placements on demon list levels. So like the list mod says, yes, opinions can change due to CBF, but this is something that happens over time anyways. 2.2 honestly had a much stronger effect on people's opinions than CBF, and this is something we specifically account for while moving levels. I don't really see it as disturbing, the level placements. I see it as the natural evolution of the list completely, which is fair. Stuff such as commonplace hardware upgrades have changed list placements over time, and I don't really see this as much different at all. I didn't mean to imply that CBF doesn't change opinions for the list. I probably should have been more clear about that. So that's fine. That's a list mod talking to me. So like, yeah, they account for very specific stuff all the time. That's my point in bringing that up. Like, maybe like not this
disturbing. Like maybe I could have reworded that, because I don't think we've had an instance where like a level that is easier than a level that it's above is above said level solely because of CBF. I don't think we've seen that place yet, but I'm saying that it's like something that can happen. And then my proposal is just for people to, or the mods to like take CBF completions into like consideration, like just to keep that in mind when they're placing levels. And then he literally says that like we take this stuff into consideration anyways. I'm actually out of here. This Mdog5 guy's actually making my brain cells crumble like a cookie. I don't think you had that many to begin with, so it's okay. Like if we're roasting, if we're roasting, if they were a fan of like another channel that was agreeing with what I was saying, this person would not have the same energy at all.
Because it is well known that CBF creates major benefits to gameplay, therefore giving the player an easier experience. A placement
That's not objectively true. I mean, it can make the level harder.
In very specific cases, but in most cases it creates an easier experience, which is why a lot of top players are using it. Most top players now are using it.
I don't care. This is so like just meaningless bullshit.
Yeah.
So then just skip it. Like you don't have to watch it.
Can we put that
Dog shit ass attitude.
Good morning. Hello, Cap Ogres. We're making fun of this person.
I mean, I guess, but there's not like much to make fun of. Like if anything, you're exposing your own like terrible attitude and approach to the things that I'm saying. You're misconstruing a lot of what I've already said, and your rebuttal includes like additional factors that aren't relevant to the conversation. And then you writing stuff off as meaningless because you yourself believe that it's meaningless, when in actuality, the community's reception challenges your view of it being meaningless.
The list is
this is an entire section about level placements. I don't think we care at all. I think
so. If you don't care, then you don't have to watch it. I don't understand. If it's not like a thing that is relevant to you or matters to you at all, then like just don't watch it. Then like none of what I'm saying is gonna apply to, like, is gonna resonate with you at all anyways. Like, if you just simply don't care about this, if you don't care, like, it's like asking one of my roommates to, like, sit and watch this Geometry Dash video when, like, they don't even play video games. Like, if you don't care, like, I don't expect you to sit and, like, watch the shit. But, like, just because you don't find that it's relevant doesn't mean you have to have, like, a shitty butt-ass attitude when watching it.
CBF.
It's silly to ignore that there's going to be some inherent inconsistencies with level placements.
There already are.
Right, and CBF is making it more so. Like, it's adding another layer of inconsistency. Like, hold on, bro. Hold on. If, like, somebody falls on the ground and scrapes their knee, and then they get up and get hit by a car, should the doctor not address the fact that they got hit by a car just because they already hurt themselves by scraping their knee?
The idea of the demon list is, like, it just means there's going to be inconsistencies, I guess. Like, I see that.
Right, and we're trying to lessen those inconsistencies. I don't understand why, like, we're being so combative at this. Like, you can have, like, we can accurately determine the actual difficulty of one level over another. Like, obviously everybody's gonna have different experiences based on, like, what they're good at and whatnot, but, like, levels are levels. Like, you're not gonna have the exact same. I say this in the video, bro.
Just always be vastly different. There's no point in trying to there's no point in trying to make it so that
like this is only like a touchy subject if like levels are close. But for instance, we know that Tidal Wave is harder than Nullscapes, right? Like I think everybody like knows that. Or like, let's say Avernus. But like, yeah, some people might find Avernus harder than Tidal Wave, right? Does that mean that Avernus is harder than Tidal Wave? No. Our opinions have the purpose of placing these levels by saying this level is harder than this one. This one's harder than this one. That's why we have numbers by the level. That's why there are placements. Like the idea that it's like, fuck it. Like, they're all opinion based anyways. Like, fuck it. Like, we're not going to try to figure out which level is harder than the other. That's literally the point of the demon list.
It's very hard to actually rank these levels, right?
Which is, okay, that's my whole point.
Tons of other factors too. I mean, you might be getting better at the game. You might be getting worse at the game. You might just have a bad day. So like, even if even if you could pinpoint exactly.
So yes, it is very hard to rate these levels, which is why when more factors are introduced, excuse me, that can make it even harder. Like, let's just try to keep that in mind when we're placing these levels. That's literally it.
For you specifically, it's just there's no way it would be like accurate. You know what I mean? Like,
but he's claiming that the second one is objectively easier without CBF, and if you use CBF, then it's not. No, I'm saying that like you might not be able to tell the difference because the first one becomes easier.
it's like it's just too nuanced to be like, yeah, this one's objectively harder, and CBF means that they might rank it differently. Blah 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 blah. Some people are using CBF, some people aren't. Yeah.
First off, opinions have the purpose of determining which one is harder and easier. And two, no two levels are...
What are you talking about? What are you talking? What? So like if I go on every single video, right? Let's go on a random Geometry.Dash video. Level enjoyment, furthest depth, placement on level as of recording 14. My personal opinion, harder than Tartarus. I don't know by how much. Current placement 1. He's literally saying that this is the hardest level in the game. 3. This is his opinion right here. Avernus is harder than Silent Clubstep, and Silent Clubstep is harder than Slaughterhouse. And the Demon List takes this and places the levels based on his opinion, based on what he thinks is harder than the other. What are we? I don't understand. The dislike comment. I wanted somebody to notice. Because like, how the fuck do you have a mid-end PC and you can barely run Geometry.Dash? Like, boy, get the hell out of here, bro. Over there lying. I was just gonna act like this is the craziest shit ever.
I think that's pretty harmless. I also think that
it does not matter.
I don't think it matters, but like, it would be nice, but like, it doesn't matter.
That's literally what I'm saying. Like, do I actually think the Demon List is gonna add like fucking icons next to the? No. Like, are you going back to the video to see what like? Wait, why did I get so mad at that?
I think it's funny how he was right about the fucking CBF is cheating, right about that. Then he just talked about all this like unrelated shit.
It's not unrelated to talk about how CBF impacts, bro. I'm not gonna keep arguing. Like this, it's a logical train of thought.
Made it seem like he wasn't accepting of its use. That was like actually just straight.
Nobody's wait. So you're looking back into the forced normalcy part, and you're like, oh, I'm not accepting of its use. What is this right here?
So to start off, I believe that CBF is an amazing mod and a tool that grants the community more accessibility to levels and more benefits.
I'm not accepting of the mod.
I don't have a problem with top players using the mod to beat and submit a level to the records if said platform accepting the record allows the mod. However, we as the audience at the bare minimum deserve to know whether or not the mod was used in order to properly grasp the magnitude of the achievement.
I don't know how that's not accepting its use. I literally say, I think in a little bit later, that like I would use the mod. And I'm using it as soon as it comes out.
With people using it. It's like, what?
Like what? Like you're just like not capable of like interpreting this information correctly. What I'm saying correctly.
That was, like,
and like with the 30 to 60 FPS thing, like I could understand, like that's on me. But like everything else, like I don't understand. Like you've arrived at conclusions via ridiculous fucking ways.
Just straight up bullshit. And then he's like, no, I'm actually okay with people using it.
Like that is a gross misrepresentation of what the video said. Like if you can't comprehend that, then that's on you. But I don't know why like we're snarkily laughing.
No, I'm actually.
Now I think CBF should be added to the game.
Right. Because I never said it shouldn't.
As we have established, CBF is a mod. And using it, although healthy for the community...
Healthy for the community.
Therefore, a level beaten with CBF, especially a new top 1, can be used to artificially...
He talked about so much shit that just, like, doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Like...
Bro. F it. CBF is cheating. A deep dive. What did you expect?
This was just, like, making himself look stupid, only to, like, then be like, yeah, I'm okay with its use. I wasted my time.
Yeah.
Oh, now is a waste of your time.
That was crazy. Okay, let's read the doggy.
Well, I didn't... Oh, yeah, doggy.
Let's read the doggy comment. This is what I really want to get into, okay? Okay. While I agree that accepting CBF is a bit questionable, that is a fucking terrible start. You can't
Yeah.
argue incorrectly that it's not cheating and then be like, it's questionable that.
Why not? Why not? Why is that invalid?
They're like, come on.
You can say that something isn't cheating while saying that accepting it might be a bit questionable.
That's so like backwards. I don't like the framing that that it is a tool that aids players and makes the game easier. That is exactly what it does, though.
That's what I said. I said that's exactly what it does.
Yeah.
That is an inconsequential thing to say. That's just like the truth. People use this kind of framing at FPS bypass in 2.1 and now CBF in 2.2, and it always bothers me. I do not give a shit if it bothers you, doggy. To be completely honest.
Yeah.
It implies that these tools
Yeah.
lessen the game's reliance on raw skill like aim assist. Is simply untrue. Dude,
Huh?
no one's claiming it. Literally no one is claiming that.
So I love how you're able to discern that nobody was claiming that, but then you act like I claimed a bunch of things that I didn't claim. Like all mods being I don't know.
Apply that unless you interpret it that way, which is like fucking stupid.
Like that's what you need to be telling yourself. Oh my god.
Like this is like very clearly just him being mad that people are calling it cheating. What these tools do eliminate is factors outside of the player's raw skill from contributing to gameplay, allowing actual raw skill to be displayed at its fullest. Saying CBF makes the game easier while technically true doesn't accurately express what it truly does feel like in a disingenuous way, presenting the argument solely to get people to agree with you. No, okay, so the thing about that is like
I kind of agree with that, but like it doesn't really
yeah,
matter.
no, he's
like,
right
so.
in that sense, but that's not what the game is. Like the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The game isn't accurate. Like that's just.
That's my point. That's my point too. It's like no matter how you cut like the pie, no matter how you guys want to say it, like what CBF does, like oh it takes away factors so that you can only have your raw skill. Like that's not the base game. Like the base game has factors that impede your raw skill, which now the definition of raw skill changes. Your raw skill is your ability to deal with the factors that impede you. Rather than CBF eliminating those factors, now that's like aided skill. Slightly aided, but it's still aided.
Mentally, how the game is programmed, it's not accurate. That's not an inherently bad thing. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing like inherently. Now, a lot of people might not like that, but that doesn't.
And
there's
that's valid if they don't like it.
Yeah,
It's like
and
just use
if
CBF.
you don't
Like,
like it, just
that's your
use
thing.
CBF. But like that's just not what the game. That's not how the game is programmed. RapTop is not claiming to like that your inputs will be accurate down to the exact like fucking microsecond that you click. There's no claim to that. You happen to be playing hard levels and you're just mad that people are calling you cheating.
That's not the case.
Beating tidal wave with CBF is
Corporate
not more
plan.
impressive. Beating tidal wave without CBF is not more impressive than beating it with CBF. From a purely skill-based point of view,
You should agree with that.
it simply is.
You should agree with that.
Having to deal with the imprecision of 240 TPS is
Okay.
the more impressive part. These completions do not require a different amount of raw skill. I mean, that is a very stupid thing to say because
Why is everything stupid or like a waste of time? Like, why can't you just have a conversation?
have the same like you don't have to have any skill to be tidal wave.
I can't, bro.
I do think if you beat a level like Tidal Wave without CBF, it's slightly more impressive just because
Simply is.
I think it's ever so slightly
Having
more,
to deal
but not
with
like
the imprecision of
Like, it's considerable enough to like say I use CBF.
Yeah.
Not like considerable like, oh, you wouldn't have been able to do this if you didn't use CBF.
Exactly.
Like
It's
you,
more of just
you
like,
still have to have the fucking skill.
It warrant like the difference it makes warrants enough just to say, hey, I use CBF while beating this.
Right.
But not enough to be like, I could not have done it without.
Right.
you don't have to have any skill to be tidal wave. You can take a very long
You
time.
can just like
be tidal wave like
You don't have to have any
you can just
skill, it's
gamble for like
crazy.
14 billion years and you can
yeah,
get it. Like,
I mean I could be tidal wave eventually if I fucking dropped 7 years into it. Like it
But then
literally
what are
is
you
nothing.
doing within those 7 years? You're building skill.
Yeah, you're building skill to beat it because look at the people who Lord Vadercraft is a great example of this. He jumped immensely to beat Firework.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't beaten any other like top levels.
Yeah.
And then went on and just verified a bunch of other cherry team levels after that because he had the skill after beating level like that.
Right.
Like, yeah, he poured hundreds of thousands of attempts into beating it, but he also gained the skill from doing that. Like,
Right.
you gain the skill from playing the level.
It's not like playing a level is like the lottery where it's like completely luck based.
No, like I lose all my skill once I jump from fucking like deadlocked to Poltergeist or whatever.
Like clearing a 360 FPS jump is like luck based. Like not 200 frame perfect waves, UFO, like in every single game mode, bro. Like a level that has every single game mode that runs for 3 minutes with 260 FPS frame perfects. Like that's not luck based. Like that's not the same thing.
Thing to do with skill. And you can also just get lucky. I mean, even if you are like
You can't just
somehow
get
the
lucky.
exact same skill.
It's a
level
combination of
as someone,
skill
which is
and just
And
being able
luck.
to lock in. I feel like there is definitely like still a teensy little
Like-
luck aspect, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like if you beat it, you had the skill to beat it.
Exactly. Like my thing is like when I think of like luck based, it's like Trick rebeating Tidal Wave. Like remember when he almost rebeat Tidal Wave in
Yeah.
5 attempts? Like that was luck, but it was predicated on skill. Like he wouldn't
He
have
had
been
to
able
have
to
the skill
access
to do it.
Exactly. He wouldn't had access to that luck if he didn't have.
He just
the
had
skill
the
to
luck
beat the
to
level.
get that close, but he still did have the skill to be able to do it.
Right.
Because otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten that close. Actually, I'm gonna pause it one more time. Would you say fucking W Popoff beating Slaughterhouse 3 times in a row is lucky? It's partially lucky.
Partially, yeah.
But at the same time, he had to have the skill because he
to do
beat
it.
the level like over 100 times.
Depending on your genetics, depends on if CBF helps you. You can't just say CBF makes the game easier in a different way. That's lazy.
Guys,
I'm not even gonna like go on
Dweebs.
that
I think you're
It's like actually
overestimating
fundamentally wrong.
This is a really fucking stupid comment.
No, it's not.
It really wasn't.
And Doggy's like not even like my
No,
favorite
I
player
started
by a long
Firework.
shot. Anyway, I actually don't like
Risk
him that
is
much, but I
actually
think the
good.
comment makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, I fuck
Oh.
with Doggy. He's one of my
I
favorites.
started Firework.
Said I do think this Mdog5 guy is downgrading other people's achievement because of CBF, and it makes me kind of mad. What do you think?
I really think you're downgrading other people's achievements still.
ABB started Firework before me, but ABB
You're not
only took,
downgrading. You're just saying
half
like,
a
hey, if you use
Yeah.
it, maybe just make
And
like a little
Vision
disclaimer that
started
you used it. Because
Silent
yeah,
Active
both
Long.
players still had to have almost the exact same skill set to be able to beat it. Otherwise, they both wouldn't have beat it.
Okay.
It's more just like here's like an ever so slight advantage, similar to how FPS bypass was the ever so slight advantage. It's literally the exact same argument. Do you see anyone complaining about FPS bypass anymore? No, because it's an integral part of the game now. And the whole upshoot from FPS bypass was you just had to put it in the description.
Yeah.
Came out.
Literally the same
I
thing that's
started it 3
happening.
months before it came out. This comment probably sucks. I don't know.
Bro, this is a long comment from top player. This comment probably sucks. We shouldn't be putting down people.
I don't
This
think
comment
it's
probably
something-
sucks.
I really don't.
I think someone, like, commenter
Songs
said
in the fire
something.
complete- I'm
Someone said,
nowhere
like,
close
let
to
them be
being fired
happy.
with my whole injury thing. If
Again,
my arm
not
right
putting
arm
them
broke,
down.
Have you
Right.
done like
We're
have you
just
gone
making
from
the
0 to
FPS
your left
bypass
hand?
argument just again for a new topic that's very similar to the FPS bypass
like,
argument.
Like I should have said that like it still requires raw skill and talent to beat Tidal Wave regardless if you're using CBF or not.
Your answer is no.
My
Will they
brain.
beat the same level. Trick and
But,
Pop did it in the confines
I just
of the
think that
game
it's, like,
and
slightly
with
less.
their raw skill and talent. A6 and Servac.
Not to say A6 and Servax don't have talent. They obviously do. It's just that Trick and Popoff had to wait for the next physics step for every input while A6 and Servax got to make their own. So I'm not like downgrade. That's the only instance that I like can think of when that person's saying like I do think like this guy is downgrading achievements like that are CBF. Like no, it's still extremely impressive. Like it's still extremely impressive. And yeah, I could have said that in the video, but again, I don't think I said anything too crazy in the video that would make me believe, or that would make you believe that, like, I value CBF completions, like, marginally less than normal completions. Especially when I had, like, this right here.
This comment probably sucks. I don't feel like reading it.
Bro, look how condescending and dismissive you are.
I don't think Septagon has any.
Like, bro, you don't think Septagon has anything? You think Doggy's comments dumb? You think, like, half of what I said is irrelevant? Or you don't care? Like, stop crying. Like, you don't have the conversation, have it. But, like, there's no reason to be
angry for nothing.
Yes, that's the main thing I fucking disagree with this. I think this person is being a fucking asshole to like people who beat levels.
Yeah, I don't know like how you got that conclusion.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, you were an asshole for the majority of this reaction, and now you're calling me an asshole.
No.
And I'm not making a fucking video on this. Like, I've thought about this a lot. My thing is well thought out. I don't think this person deserves a fucking video.
Like, oh yeah, now I don't deserve a video. Like, who do you think you are? What the fuck? I was like, ooh, I don't deserve a video.
You went off on enough side tangents with your friends about the extremes of of the arguments that you ended up just saying, nah, fuck this guy. I think he's an asshole, therefore he's an asshole.
Look at this comment. Look at the bottom one.
Where?
God.
Don't be an asshole percentage needs to be an asshole.
Like, bro, we're not crazy, bro. Like, you're...
Terrifies me. I don't. There's no.
Now.
What could they possibly say that would refute what I said? I literally went so.
What could they possibly say? Maybe
that-
like actually having like a logistical argument. Crazy.
I mean, I ultimately.
CBF
I got to
push
the,
it somewhere else.
I like got to the same conclusion as them, more or less, but I didn't make myself look like a fucking idiot in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's still crazy.
I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think you look way worse. And I was like, I think basically all I said was, like, not everything I said. Like, I can see, like, I could definitely go back on some points. Like, I can be persuaded on some of the points that I said. Like, I'm not going to make a 30-minute video and expecting nobody to, like, not bring up good points or whatever that might,
Yeah,
like...
that's the point of posting is
Exactly.
you can get community feedback on it. And
Yeah.
sometimes your opinion slightly changes because of that, because you got more sides to it.
Yeah. Like, I learned that, like I learned about, like, the definition of gaslighting. And I was like, oh, shit, I probably shouldn't have said that, except the guy was gaslighting the other person. But I was like...
Like, that's the point of having, like, a constructive argument.
Right. And then it's like, to make, like, an hour and 40-minute stream and saying, oh, like, what could he possibly say to refute anything I said? Like, really? That's your mindset? Like, even in their comment, he was like, I'm not arguing that you're, like, some immoral monster. I'm like, bro, the fact that that's what you chose to say. Like, no, you're not arguing.
That means that's what you think. If
Right.
That's what your first argument's
Like
coming up
that's
with.
the upper extreme. Like, an immoral monster is the upper extreme to what you think I am.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not trying to argue you're some immoral monster. I was like, okay, but you are arguing that I'm an asshole. Like, bro, like, just calm that ass down, bro.
Just relax, let people have an opinion and have like constructive arguments and everything.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to get so mad.
No. Like, it's just that mindset. Like, what could he possibly say to refute what I said? Like, as though we watched this for an hour and 46 minutes. Like, I'll admit, like, a lot of what I said, like, I've already taken back, like, some of the stuff that I've said, like, minor things, and then I've conceded on, like, some points and stuff in this 30-minute video. And you make, like, an hour and 40-minute reaction video, and you think that that you've said nothing refutable when you were condescending at points to me, Doggy, Septagon, when you misconstrued a lot of my arguments, when your rebuttals to those arguments had a lot of factors that weren't relevant. And I mean, like, the only thing that, like, I don't blame you for, like, you can have your opinion on, like, the CBF disturbs level placements, because we can't even agree on the fact that, like, there's an objective list. But, like, if you don't agree with something, it's not like, oh, I don't care about this. Oh, this is a waste of time. Like, this is so stupid. Like, you don't have to frame arguments like that. Like, you don't have to, like, you're coming off as aggressive for no reason. I just think that, like, I don't even care about, like, the CBF points or whatever. Like, I think this was good to have happened so that you can realize that, like, when you're reacting to stuff, God forbid someone has a different opinion than you, but you need to do a better job of discerning, like, the tone of people. Like, you came into this, like, thinking that forced normalcy was like, forced normalcy. You think I'm an asshole by this comment. You said, I also found it funny that you misconstrue me promoting people feeling good about something they achieved without some asshole telling them that it's ruining the game with being butthurt. Now, I'm being butthurt. I'm calling you butthurt because, like, this is your reaction to something that I said that wasn't even crazy.
Minimum deserve to know whether or not they
No,
want
you
to-
fucking don't. Shut the fuck up.
No, you don't.
You
Yeah.
don't. It doesn't matter.
Like, that's your attitude to something that I said. Like, essentially, you just don't agree with it. And then you think that I'm, like, demanding information from people. Like, no. I'm just saying that it would be nice if you were transparent. If you're using a mod that is, like, very, like, it's splitting the community in two. Like, you're not saying it. And then a lot of people, like I just read to you, like, think that it's important information. And not a lot of people know, like, the telltale signs as to whether or not somebody was using CBF or not. Like, that's not... Like, nothing, the conclusions that I arrived at weren't anything crazy, weren't controversial. I didn't disparage anybody. I wasn't disrespectful. So that's on you. And you need to do a better job of, like, having these sorts of conversations, even if you don't agree with what's being said. Like, there's no reason to have it. It's like, what kind of conversation do you want to have at the end of the day? Like, when you started calling me names and shit, like, what kind of conversation do you want to have? Because, like, we can be cordial and actually talk about it. At this point, no. Because, like, it's clear that, like, we don't agree on the fundamentals. Which is fine. I respect your opinion. Like, your opinion on this, like, CBF deserves levels placements, like, I respect that. It's just that you acted like my opinion was insane. Just do a better job next time.
Fucking nothing else.
Like, this is a very nuanced topic. So to think that, like, an opinion opposite of yours is, like, so stupid or, like, oh, no, I don't get what people, like... Come on, bro.
Yeah, so we can do something else if you want.
I didn't think I'd talk about
Like, you're worse than some of these commenters.
this for an hour and 40 minutes.
And you're still being
What else
condescending.
are we doing right now?
But thanks for the reaction. It was cool to, like, actually be able to sit and, like, have somebody react to, like, one of my discussion videos, because I literally make discussion videos for the purpose of discussing. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this. Where's the shit? Disclaimer. Yeah, I'm gonna fix this typo.